Yo, what is up, tours of you and fellow clashers of the world? It's Adam right here. Hold on a second, guys. I'm going to change an audio setting. Being that I'm not talking to anyone else, I'm going to turn on my monitor so I can hear myself talk. Anyways, I wanted to do something a little different. After my stream last night, got on one of those like freaking internet tangents where you're just like researching stuff, and for some weird reason, there's a YouTuber, he goes by JT Suits, I believe. I just started to get into because he's got like some cool Navy. He used to be in the Navy, got out like just recently, and he does like a lot of Navy tutorial stuff, like just giving advice to young people joining the military, going into boot camp, well, Navy specifically, telling sea stories and that kind of stuff. And it's like, man, it's just bringing up all these memories of just being in, and you guys have some little tidbits of information about my time in the Navy, especially the hooker stories and all that kind of stuff, but a lot of stuff I haven't talked about yet. And after watching this other YouTuber, I just felt really inspired to kind of put in my 2 cents in the YouTubing community, because there's not like, yeah, I mean, I know this is like, I'm a gamer YouTube, that kind of, YouTuber and whatever, but I don't know, I just want to do something different. So, what's up, Brad, JS, Anthony, Jamie Boy, T-Pucky, Aaron, Stormfall RG Certified, Gilly, Tom, Baptiste, holy shit, there's a bunch of you guys in here, a lot more than I thought. I thought there was going to be like 2 of you guys that'd be interested in this stuff. Anyways, guys, I got some, I have a lot of footage that I took when I was in the Navy, that I haven't really shown. Some of you guys may have seen it. I know you've seen the Pink Lake video on my channel that I posted, and you may have seen the, like, Haiti earthquake video. These are just, like, little snippets, not without any commentary either. So I'm gonna, like, go through some of my old footage. It's gonna be kind of, like, on a whim type kind of deal. I know some of you guys ask questions too every now and then about like my time in the Navy. You can also ask me other stuff as well. What's up, Keelan, by the way, Invader Zim, Russ, Redhead Tell, you two, how's it going, dude? Thomas, how's it going, guys? Anyways, stabilize my cam. Oh, it's because I'm it's because I'm hitting the table. My bad. Nice, G. I'm enjoying my coffee, my morning coffee. Well, now it's afternoon, but yeah. So, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I think I've kind of said this a few times when people ask me like how the Navy was, like when you guys ask me in the chat, and even not even just in the chat, just in day-to-day conversation with people that I meet, the Navy was amazing and absolutely sucked at the same time. It was just, I had some of the best times of my life in the Navy and some of the worst times of my life. It was such a roller coaster, such an up and down. And I kind of had a realization last night when I was watching this other YouTuber about I didn't have the usual experience like a lot of other Navy sailors would. He commented on a story about something that happened last year with a skipper, the captain of the ship, who was issuing bread and water punishments to his junior sailors over minor shit, like, showing up 20 minutes late to work kind of shit, For those of you who don't know, bread and water punishment is a real punishment in the Navy where they stick you in the brig for 3 days and you're given nothing but bread and water. That is your punishment. It's usually something extremely rare, and it's usually issued like you have yourself a troubled sailor, but he has promise, but he's fucked up really bad. And instead of like administratively separating him from the Navy, discharging him like other than honorably, like I was, you would give him like a 3 days in the brig, bread and water type punishment. That's what you would do. Best Navy in the world. Fuck yeah, G. America. America #1, dude. Ask other stuff wins PUBG. Puppy monkey baby. Dude. What's up, Thunderful? How's it going, man? I was in the U.S. Navy. Go Vine. Shit, Babtail. I didn't realize you were in South Africa. That's awesome. What's up, Roaster? Saudi. Blanket parties doesn't really happen. What's up, Spitfire? How's it going? Thought you might find some interest in this. I think you were. I can't remember. You in the Army or Marines? I can't remember, dude. Anyways, guys. Okay, let's kind of get into this. There's one thing in particular. So they were talking about this, and he was just saying, like, you know, I feel really bad for those sailors that were under this guy's command because it was the USS Shiloh, by the way, for the 7th Fleet that the stuff happened on, which is a cruiser, I believe. Where he was issuing all these bread and water punishments when it's usually a rare thing, especially over minor shit. And he was talking about a toxic command climate. And I didn't really. It's funny because I've been out now for 7 years and I never really thought of I was in a toxic command climate, like what was going on in that ship. And it should have been a little bit more obvious, I guess. It's just, I don't know, maybe when you grow in life and you kind of mature and you start looking at things differently, I suppose. Marines, nice, Spitfire. Got to carry you guys all around because I was on an amphib. Top 10 Navy in the world? I don't know what you mean by that, Di. I don't have Twitch. No, just YouTube. All right, Gilly. Thanks for stopping by. I do not have PTSD from the Navy. The most horrendous thing I saw was going to the earthquake relief effort in Haiti in 2010. And it was called Operation Unified Response. You don't know anyone? Yeah, the only people that had, like, I only know one guy that I, like, personally knew in the Navy that had PTSD. And that was this guy went to, like, what they call IA, individual augmentee, where they, like, stick you with someone in the Army. They stick you with, like, I don't know what you call them, battalion or something in the Army. And there's this one guy on my ship that went IA over to Iraq or Afghanistan, and he came back a little fucked up. He was a little fucked up after that. Americanos, fuck yeah, dude. Based on countries, I couldn't compare. And I just know the U.S. Navy. What's up, Janku? Thank you, dude. Quick comparison between military branches. Quick short vid I put it on Discord. All right, well, remind me later. I want to get into my story here. I didn't want this live stream to be like incredibly long, but I feel like it could be a little long, so I just kind of want to organize it here a little bit. But I want to tell my story first. Yeah, like Spitfire. 3 tours in Iraq will fucking give you PTSD for sure. PTSD is post-traumatic stress syndrome. It's fucking disorder. Sorry, we're post-traumatic stress disorder. Yeah, look it up, dude. Google it, Gucci. You'll get some information on it. Streamer and YouTuber. Fuck yeah, Thunderful. What's up, Blazenique? How's it going? So before we actually get into the actual Q&A part, I want to tell my story. I'm going to try to make this brief, but I'm going to give more detail about these incidents that happened and what my command became newsworthy for. Because something went down. Thanks, Invader Zim. I mean, it was just a job for me, dude. But yeah. So some of you guys know I originally I signed up for the Navy and I contracted to be a SEAL. This was in April of 2007, where I went to MEPS. MEPS is, I fucking don't remember what MEPS stands for, but it's basically where you go and you sign up. And then where you get shipped out to go to boot camp. I'm not a Navy SEAL. I never became a Navy SEAL, Ben Best. Yeah, I'm still a veteran. Still a veteran because I did serve. So anyways, so yeah, April 2007 is when I contracted at MEPS to be a SEAL. They give you a mentor, someone that's in the special warfare community, not necessarily a SEAL, but someone that's like a Navy diver, a SWIC guy, SEAL guy, EOD, any of the special warfare, special operations, and type jobs that you can do in the Navy. It's called a rating. Job in the Navy is, they call it a rating, by the way, your rate. Military enlistment program. There you go, Spitfire. Thank you, dude. You were 5? Wow, dude. So anyways, they put you then in delayed entry program, DEP, right? And most sailors for like most jobs, like they'll put you in depth, and the recruiter wants their numbers. They're gonna get you off to boot camp as soon as possible, as soon as you sign up, like within a couple days to like within a month usually. That's how it was for most people that were in my DEP program with me for my local recruiting office. For me, being a SEAL contracted, they have a little bit more of an involved program because you have to be able to get your secret clearance before you even leave. You have to be able to, the big part is you have to be able to pass your physical screening test. You have to go through your mentorship with your Spec Ops, Special Warfare mentor. And a couple other little things too. Like I had to get a waiver for my freaking speeding tickets, right? I had to talk to a captain, in 06 about my speeding tickets and get a waiver signed so that I could join and get my secret clearance to go into the SEAL program. But anyways, that's actually not the most interesting part of my Navy career. It was, for me, it was a kind of a regular thing that happens to most SEAL candidates is went off to boot camp. I left boot camp. They did start a new program. You didn't go right from boot camp to BUDS, which is in Coronado. BUDS stands for Basic Underwater Demolition SEALs. It's in Coronado, California, right off the coast of San Diego. It's a little peninsula. There's 2 other bases there, Naval Amphibious Base, and then NAS North Island. It's all in Coronado, and then right across the bay is 32nd Street, San Diego, the actual regular Navy base where all the ships are. You're buffering? You shouldn't be. You don't know how many tickets I had before getting in the Army? Damn, dude. A lot of Navy straightened me out in a lot of ways. In other ways, yeah. Anyways, that's weird, Anthony. I don't know why you're getting buffering. It's all showing green for me. Yeah, mine was the usual story. I mean, I went to the new BUDS prep program that they had. That was about a little over 2 months long. I was originally classed up with class 270, and no, I'm sorry. I was originally classed up with 271. And then I got rolled back because I stupidly stabbed myself in my leg with my knife, and I had to get stitches, and I was not allowed to swim for the final assessment before going to BUDS because I had stitches in my legs. So, I got medically rolled back into class 272. I had to do the entire BUDS prep program all over again, which is like a gradient step of going to the actual BUDS training. It's like intense, but not as intense as BUDS. You're still swimming all the time. You're working out 8 hours, 9 hours a day. You're swimming, running, push-ups, pull-ups, military discipline, all that kind of shit you're doing. So anyways, and then I went to BUDS in, what was it? June of 08, I think it was. Something around there, classed up at 272. You go through a month of indoctrination, so you don't even really necessarily start training, but you do. You get into a little more intense shit, log training, all that kind of stuff. How did I stab myself in the leg? It was just stupid. I was cutting something, and the knife slipped, and it went into my leg. Like, the knife slipped while I was cutting, and it went bloop right in my fucking leg. Shit sucked. Yeah, there's other shit you gotta qualify to get into the SEAL program, too. Like, you can't be colorblind. Lots of crazy shit. Can't have any, like, history of, like, psychiatric disorders, that kind of shit. They want someone sane, smart. You have to have a high enough ASVAB score as well. ASVAB, by the way, is the aptitude test you have to take before going in the military. It's basically measuring your intelligence. It's like taking a SAT or something like that, I was going to be an Army MP, but local PD. Oh, cool, man. So anyways, yeah, I went to BUDS, did Indoc for a month. And this is going to give you an idea of, like, how hard the training is. Like, before I even left for boot camp, people got dropped from the program. Before even going to boot camp, they'll drop you. Because if you don't show improvement when you do your physical screening tests, because you have to take them, like, a couple times a month, and you have to show improvement in your physical scores, like your times and stuff like that. If you don't show improvement, they'll drop you from the program. If you don't get your secret clearance, security clearance, they'll cut you from the program. So people got cut before I even went to boot camp. Then you go in boot camp, they'll do their first by the way, when you're a SEAL candidate in boot camp, you got to wake up 2 hours earlier than everyone else and go do the SEAL training in the morning, your SEAL workout, and then you do normal boot camp. So you have to wake up at 4 in the morning when everyone else gets to wake up at 6. Okay. Which sucks. And people would drop out there. They were like, they would get stressed out from waking up at 4 in the morning and not having taps at 10 and getting 6 hours of sleep every night. They were fucking losing their minds. People dropped out in boot camp from the SEAL program and changed their jobs. And then you go into Bud's Prep. I think in each class, 271 and 272, I think I saw maybe 25 to 35 people leave in each of those classes. So I probably saw about 50 to 60 people leave during my 5 months in the doing Bud's Prep twice. And the funny thing is, I felt extremely prepared when I went to Bud's. Because I went through Bud's Prep twice. I was like, fuck, if I could go through that twice, then I'm gonna fucking make it through Bud's. I thought for sure I would. And I saw a lot of guys that were like, I was the shortest guy in my class. I was physically probably the weakest as well. And they would always preach that it's 99% mental, 1% physical. And it's totally true. It's extremely true. Because by the time you get to Bud's, you're physically prepared for it, to at least go through the evolutions and do the stuff. But yeah, I got to Bud's and I classed up with 272, first day of Indoc, with 254 people in my class. A month later, after being just indoctrination, just getting used to doing the inflatable boats, in the water and just doing log PT and doing the obstacle course and your 4-mile runs and your 2-mile open ocean swims and the bay swims. Like, they're just getting used to it. They're not even like riding. I mean, they're riding your ass, anyways, yeah, I classed up 272, started Indoc, 254 people. A month later, we started first phase of Bud's after completing Indoc, graduating from Indoc. We started with 160 people in my class. I lost 114 people. Wait, am I doing my math right? No. 94 people? I don't know. Fuck, I can't do my math right. I don't give a fuck. 254 to 160. That's where we started a month later, right? So we lost like a third of our class. And then the first day of first phase of training was pretty grueling. We started at 4 a.m. Went until, I don't know, 6, 7 p.m. at night. We only lost 2 people the first day. Second day, however, we had lost, I think, 40 or 50 people. We were down to like 110, 120 people after the end of the second day of first phase. And then when the third day came of first phase training, this is like considered the period though of where they really fucking try to weed out people, right? They're really trying to get in your fucking head. They're like, this is like the hardest part of the training pipeline, right? By the third day, I had started the day. A bunch of people quit that morning, like 5 people. And then I finally quit that afternoon with like 100 people left in my class, 110 people left in my class, something like that. So yeah, it's, that was a little cray-cray to know that I at least outlasted those people. And some of those guys that had dropped before me were guys that were like trying to put me down. Like, you're not gonna fucking make it. I'm fucking He-Man. I'm gonna fucking make it through this shit. I'm a big badass. And then they fucking pushed out well before I did. So, what's happening in the chat right now? The fuck? Someone's coming back in with multiple accounts. Why do fucking people... Dude, stop, dude. You're what a fucking loser, dude. What's up, Seals Game Store? How's it going? Fuck, man. Some people. Okay. Anyways, like I said, that wasn't the most interesting part. I quit, rang the bell, put my fucking helmet on the grinder, and changed my rating or job to re-clear that for you. My job as a gunner's mate, which is you're just a weapons specialist on the ship, basically. I went to school in Great Lakes. I went back to school in Great Lakes. Went back to Great Lakes, I should say, because that's where you do your recruit training. Yeah, I don't know, redhead. Dude, die. Get the fuck out of here. Stop it with this shit. I wish you could IP block, but you can't. So anyways, I went to Gunner's Mate A school. That was like 6 months long, and then I went to my first command on the ship in February of 2009, right? So I was already in the Navy. By the time I got to my first command, I was already in the Navy for like a year and a half. And I thought if I tried really, really hard in school, and showed just nothing but like, I don't know, like the highest military discipline and just like the best scores and took leadership positions and a lot of extra shit, that I would be able to be the type of sailor that would get the orders that he chooses. Now they ask you, what are the 3 places you want to go? Doesn't mean you're going to get them, but they ask you what are the 3 places you want to go. And you're often given the advice that if you try hard, a lot of times you can get your number 1 pick of what you want to do in the Navy, like what command you want. I knew I knew quite a bit about the Navy before I got in because my stepfather was in. He was in during Vietnam, and he was in a type of command called the Riverines, where they were in the little river boats doing the fun shit. There's some movies that depict what the Riverines did in Vietnam, and I thought that was like a super fucking cool thing. I thought that was like the next closest thing I could get to special warfare. I just wanted to do something adventurous and fun. That was why I signed up to the SEALs. I didn't want to do just a regular fucking Navy ship job. Yeah, whatever, guys. Just ignore him. He'll go away. Just ignore that guy and he'll go away in the chat. Fuck him. Whatever. You guys know. People do this shit all the time. So anyways, I asked, they had just restarted the Riverine program because of the Iraqi war, and they have rivers that needed to be patrolled. And I was like, fuck, with all the new technology and the boats nowadays and fucking being a gunner's mate, you know, fucking shoot some fucking guns off a small boat, racing around the fucking rivers of Iraq. That sounded fun to me. And so I requested Riverines, which is only at the time, I don't know what it is now, but if it's the same or not, or if they even still have the Riverines, but at the time, the Riverines was only at one base, and that was Little Creek, Virginia, which is now called Joint Expeditionary Base Fort Story Little Creek or something. They combined it with Army and Marines and shit. Now it's more than just a Navy base like it used to be. It used to be just Naval Amphibious Base Little Creek. Anyways, so I requested Riverines Command, Naval Amphibious Base, Little Creek, Virginia. And I tried really hard in school. I ended up graduating my class. It's self-paced, by the way, in the Navy. Navy school is self-paced. You just have, like, your curriculum, and you can go about it as fast or as slow as you want, right? Because not everyone is at the same speed, you know, of learning. So I graduated 2 weeks before my checkout time, right? They give you like a time they want you to finish by. You can finish later or you know, later or earlier than that. But they do have so I finished 2 weeks early. I finished school 2 weeks early at the top of my class, at the top grade of my class. It was like a 96% or something like that. It was my grade. And not only that, but I was also the class leader, right? They structure everything in ranks in the military and everything. So even like you have your class of 30 people or however many people it was, like I was in gunner's mate school with like a class of like 30 that were going through at the time. I was the class leader. So I was the designated class leader. I was the guy that had to fucking march them from fucking the class to the fucking chow. And I had to fucking like stand them outside in ranks and fucking inspect their uniforms. All the shit of just being a leader, basically, in the military. And I thought by taking on this leadership type role, and not only that, but I was actually the school leader at one point, where I marched all 400 motherfuckers to the school, from barracks to the school every day, and a chow and all that shit, which is not easy to get 400 fucking people to do what you want when you're technically the same, you know, rank. We're all E3s or below. I was an E3. But because of my SEAL training, I just used that, basically what I had gotten from seeing the SEALs instructors, how they operated, to get the military discipline, and that's what I used, and I was voluntold to be the school leader. That was cool. I loved that, you know. Because I was so far ahead, and because my grade was so high, they even let me leave school, at 12 o'clock every day. I literally got to school at 7 and got to leave at 12. I had to go back to march them back from the school to the barracks at 4 when the normal time ended. But you're a squad leader in basic, never at my unit. Yeah. So you guys, some of you guys are military, you know, or previous military or in the military. You kind of know what I'm talking about here. So anyways, I thought with all that extra stuff, I also sang in the choir, which I actually just did because I wanted to avoid being in a duty section on the barracks and have to stand watch. So I joined the base choir because that got me out of duty section. But I also figured it's also an extracurricular thing that would help me out to get the orders on. That's how badly I wanted Riverines. So I sat down. They told me I got my orders in, and I sat down with my proctor, my class proctor, my instructor, right, with the Navy personnel person or whatever, and she's like, all right, so you said you wanted to go to Little Creek, Virginia, and guess what? You're going to Little Creek, Virginia. And I was like, yes, I got the fucking orders, you know, like I was so excited. And then she's like, and your command's gonna be L. And as soon as she said L, I knew goddamn well that wasn't Riverines. I knew goddamn well that wasn't Riverines. I was like, L? And I was like, no, that's not, that L does not start with, no, Riverine starts with an R. You should be saying Riv, not L. And she said LSD 44, which stands for Dock Landing Ship 44, USS Gunston Hall. And I was like, fuck. No, I was so incredibly disappointed by it, especially with how hard I worked for the 6 months that I was in school for. And my class proctor, who was there with me, he was super excited because he was on LSD 41, the USS Whidbey Island, at the same fucking place, Little Creek, Virginia. And he was like, oh, good orders. And I'm like, no, that's not good orders. That's not good orders. It's like, all right, thank you for telling me what the orders are. Now, what do we do to make sure that I get Riverines? It's like, no, you've already been given your orders. That's it. Set in stone. It's like, no. It's not set in stone. We can change this. We can fix this. We can get me Riverine orders. What do we got to do to get me Riverine orders? Anyways, it wasn't happening. Once you get your orders, you're fucking set. I was a dismount. Who the fuck is, stop fucking calling me. Shit. Sorry. Okay. Not a squad leader, but soldiers under you. Yeah, dude. If you're got rank, man, you gotta have some juniors. So a dismount, a driver, and an ammo handling specialist. The ammo handling class was too easy though. Nice, dude. Took that out. Tank mechanic. Fuck yeah. So anyways, and just acknowledge you die. I'm not doing a Navy top 10. I already told you I don't fucking know anything about any of the other militaries other than the United States of America. And shut the fuck up and go crawl back under what fucking bridge you came from. You fucking understand me? You little trolling piece of shit. Get the fuck out of here. Anyway, sorry guys. Sorry. Excuse me. Got a lot of tank mechanics in your brigade? See, we didn't use words like brigade in the Navy. First orders was to the Rose Barracks in Germany. Then they switched to Fort Stewart in Savannah, Georgia. And then it switched one more time. Got Schofield Barracks, Hawaii. I was like, hell yeah. Dude, Hawaii sounds like... I heard some good and bad stories of Hawaii. Heard it's beautiful, but I heard it's a little bit more strict because you got like Pearl Harbor Museum there and all that shit. It's a bot. He's ruining our nice things, yeah. Yeah, you guys laughing it up. At least, I'm glad you guys are at least having fun with that. Hey, Lenny the Gamer, what's up? Thank you, man. What's up, Zero? How's it going, brah? How's it going, brah? Alright, so, let's move into the fun stuff here, okay? So, I got stationed on USS Gunston Hall, LSD-44 at Little Creek, Virginia, which is right near Norfolk, Virginia. Norfolk, Virginia, the Norfolk base is considered like the most fucking uptight motherfucking base in the fucking world, mostly because of how closely located to Washington D.C. it is, where you have a lot of fucking top brass there. Top brass means like the fucking high ups and the fucking like all your admirals and generals and shit like that. So it's really like super disciplined, straight away Navy. You know, the further away from Washington D.C. you get, the more relaxed it is. But I wanted Riverines because, you know, that's like a specialty type of command. I didn't want like a normal Navy fucking ship. You're hooked. Dude, it is like a fucking documentary. Is Austin in Hawaii? Oh, no, don't worry about it, Reese. We just got a troll. That's all. Awesome Hawaii, but the island fever set in after 3 months. Yeah, that's the one thing I would love to visit Hawaii. I wouldn't want to be stationed there for a few years at a command. So anyways, USS Gunston Hall. I got there February 2009. And right off the bat, I had good and bad impressions of it. The good impressions were whenever you get assigned to a command, they give you someone that's going to be like your, who's going to be like your, they call it your sponsor, right? They're going to be the one that kind of like helps you out to get acquainted with the ship. Wants to put my dick in his mouth. So, my sponsor, Gunner, GM2, Gunner's Mate Second Class, E5. I'm not going to say his name, but really fucking cool dude. I talked to him on the phone before I left A school to go to the command, to the ship. And, you know, he's like, yeah, I just want to call you, get to know you a little bit. And he's like, you know, just asked me some basic stuff. And I told him how I went to Buds and all that. He's like, dude, I've always wanted to try out for Buds, but, you know, I don't think, I got it in me to do that. But he's like, dude, if you went to Buds, man, you made it as far as you did. Bro, dude, I'm on the VBSS team. VBSS means Visit Board Search and Seizure, by the way. That's like you fucking, you know, Somali pirates take over a fucking cargo ship. You're the one fucking boarding that ship with guns. You know what I mean? He's like, yeah, bro, we'll get you on fucking the VBSS team. You're a great swimmer. We need a new search and rescue swimmer, qualified search and rescue swimmer on the ship. You probably already got like fucking halfway there to the qual anyways on that. We'll get you all this shit, man. Dude, you sound like, you know, you're going to be like the go-to guy on this ship. And I was like, I was super excited. I was like, fuck yeah, I can do a lot of good on this ship. You know, I can be an above average sailor and still get to do cool shit on this ship. Sorry, that's a little bit of a tongue twister. You know, so I was really excited to get there. And then when I got there, he brought me to the ship, and the ship was in the yards. It was in the shipyards, right? And it was just rusted everywhere and had construction scaffolding everywhere on it. I think I can pull up some pictures on my Facebook to show you guys, actually. Let's do that so you can see what I saw when I fucking got there. Less than exemplary. Your hobby was stationed at Portsmouth. You lived on base in Great Bridge, shopped in Norfolk. I think you told me that, Tonks. I think you told me that before. Put a 50. Oh, this is gonna be. We're talking sailor talk, Tonks. We're gonna be. It's gonna be sailor talk. Mouth of a sailor here. So when I got there, we're walking up to the ship, and my sponsor GM2 is like, there it is, the fucking shit bucket. And I'm like, you know, what is this? I think, good thing I put all my pictures in albums because I have them all organized on my Facebook. Give me a second, guys. I want to pull up pictures. I want you to see what I saw when I got there, and I have pictures of it. All right. Well, here's one picture of it. There you go. We're gonna switch over to desktop mode real quick, so you guys can see. There we go. You did indeed. Married to a sailor. It is definitely. All right, Spitfire. Have a good one. Thanks for stopping by, bro. Anyways, guys, this is what I saw. As you can see, there's all this tarping and stuff right here. They got scaffolding all built right there. There's a fucking crane that they're using to put shit on it. That's what I walked into, right? That was my ship. I think I got another picture that I can show you of the back end, or like you can see more stuff of it. Ooh, what was that? That's a coffee. That's coffee. Oh, by the way, here's a picture of Buds when I was at Buds. There we go. That's from Buds. That's part of the obstacle course right there. Here's me on a rope having some fun. Yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. Here we go. Here's the back end of the ship. You can see the whole flight deck was just all tented off and whatnot because they were like completely redoing the flight deck. I mean, the ship was in the yards. It was getting a major overhaul. Here's the barge next to the ship that we operated out of because the ship was actually considered uninhabitable at the time. That's how much construction was going on. Here I am. I'm on the ship right here taking a picture. There's that tent over the flight deck because they were redoing that. More scaffolding right there on the crane. This was the inside of the ship. This was the inside of the well deck, just a bunch of scaffolding. This is all supposed to be cleared out because this is where they bring in the landing craft and the LCACs, the hovercrafts and stuff like that. There's more like just construction crap everywhere, you know. And I think I had a picture of it when it was cleared out, like what it should look like. Here it is. This is what it should look like. This is what it looked like afterwards once we were done. So anyways, that's what I showed up to. And then, like the second day or something like that I'm there, my sponsor is telling me, he's like, yeah, I'm actually getting transferred here in a couple weeks, and you're going to be under GM1 here. Just to let you know, you got to watch out for this guy. There's something not right with him. And I ended up the first day I met him that day. After he told me this stuff, right? And then literally like 5 minutes later, GM1 walks over, and he just comes up and he opens the door and he's like, he talks to my sponsor GM2. He's like, "Do you do what I ask you to do?" He was, by the way, he was like this really ghetto hood type guy that was like probably in a gang before he joined the military. And he actually told me once that he was in front of a judge and he was told, "Son, you either join the military or you're going to jail. Which one you want to choose?" And he chose to go to the military. So anyways, yeah, he's sitting there and he's just like, just blank face on him. He's like, "You do what I ask you to do?" And then I'm like, he's like, yeah, that's all done. And it's like, all right, good. And then GM2 was like, "Oh, hey, GM1, by the way, this is GMSN Pyres here. He just arrived yesterday." And I stood up. I was trying to make a great impression. I stood up. I'm like, "Hey, GM1, how's it going? GMSN Pyres." And he just looks at me. Didn't even shake my fucking hand, right? Just looks at me. He's like, "All right, whatever." And he turns around and walks away. And I'm like, wow. Okay, we got ourselves a fucking class act right here. Fucking grade A motherfucking douchebag. What's up, Shark Gaming, by the way? What's up, Charlie? How's it going? So right off the bat, I had not a good impression of the ship. Even though I was like, I'm gonna fucking do some shit. I'm gonna fucking join the VBSS team. I'm gonna fucking be the search and rescue swimmer for the ship. You know, I'm gonna do some good here. You know, we're gonna shoot some fucking guns, and we're gonna, you know, it's gonna be a good time. But dude, that dude, he was also retarded, by the way. I remember when we first got our 50 cals, brand new 50 cals, like from the manufacturer, because we were, like I said, we were getting a whole fucking midlife upgrade to the ship. It was under construction to update it in the shipyards. We got brand spanking new 50 caliber machine guns, and as soon as we got them, he wanted to tear them apart and put them back together again. And I was like, okay, cool. That's always fun. I learned how to do it. I knew how to fucking... My training was so good at school and that I knew how to fucking... basically fucking tear apart and put back together a 50 cal machine gun like the back of my hand. Still didn't get PUBG. No worries, man. What's up, Zay? How's it going? So, you should totally get it. I should totally get PUBG. So anyways, we're putting back together the... this is like... a couple weeks later, after the GM2 had left, and I'm stuck with this GM1 ghetto dude. We're putting the 50 cals back together, and there's this one little latch. G certified, if you're still here at Spitfire, you might know about the M2HB. I don't know. But the M2HB, there's this little latch that goes on the top of the bolt. The way they trained us to know which way, you can put it in the latch and secure it on the bolt, like if it's upside down or if it's right side up, the way it's supposed to be. And the way they trained us, the way it was shaped, they trained us, you know, ass up, tits down, get it in the hole every time. So this latch, it's got this little like round end here and another little round end here. One end looks like tits and the other looks like an ass, and then it's got a hole in it. And you put the latch in there, and you put this little pin in in the side of it to put this latch in there. And what that latch does is it resets the firing pin in the bolt for the 50 caliber machine gun. If you put it in the wrong, you can put it in the wrong way, and if you put it in the wrong way, you are gonna fuck that gun up. You're gonna fuck it up so bad. If you try to shoot it with it like that in there, you're gonna fucking have an explosion in that gun. Someone's gonna get hurt, right? So we're putting it back together, and he's like, man, I don't remember how to. You know, he didn't even do that. He put it in the wrong way. He didn't even say he didn't remember. He just put it in the wrong way. And I was watching. He's like, he's trying to train us, right? I'm like, no, GM1, no. You're putting it the wrong way, dude. Remember, ass up, tits down, get in the hole every time. Remember that, right? And he's like, and here's the worst part. He had just come back from marksman trainer qualification, like school, like where you are trained. You go to school so that you can train other people how to operate these guns, right? So he had like not just the basic training like I had for guns, but he had the above and beyond where you're trained to become an instructor on these guns. And this motherfucker didn't know how to put the goddamn latch in the fucking bolt the right way. That's how fucking dumb this dude was. And he was just a fucking straight up ghetto douchebag. Anyways, I tried to do it. He's like, man, fuck off, man. I know what the fuck I'm doing. I'm like, you want to fucking step up, bro? I'm like, dude, whoa. Hey. Yo, I'm trying to start a fight with you, dude. Hey, just saying. That's what they taught us in school. Ass up, tits down. Get it in the hole every time. You're putting it in upside down. I just want to make sure that we put it in the correct way. And he puts it in upside down, and he tries to rack the gun. He's like, man, why this shit not racking right? And I'm like, because you put the latch in the wrong way. He never fixed it, by the way. This guy could not be wrong. He could not fix a mistake. We all make fucking mistakes. The difference between what, kind of character you are is whether you can own up to those mistakes and do something about it or not. If you can't own up to fucking making mistakes, you think you're fucking perfect, then you're never going to learn anything. Obviously, like this guy never did. Anyways, I ended up going back behind him and putting in all the latches in the correct way in the 50 cal. But it didn't take very long where this guy started feeling threatened by me. And it was just very obvious. And he did nothing but trying to fucking like when I tried to sign up for VBSS school, he fucking shot it down. Talked a bunch of shit about me to my chief, to my division officer, all the people in charge over my division and over that would basically above me in my chain of command. Did anything he could to sidetrack my Navy career. And that's not even where the worst part gets into. That made it depressing and made me not want to be in the command anymore. Not really not the command, but not under his command. I have a shotgun and it has lots of kick. We had shotguns too. We had M500s on the ship. The Mossberg M500 12 gauge. Awesome gun. It's not even expensive. $250. $250, something around there. And it's a good, reliable gun. So we're going to fast forward a little bit here. I ended up, we got out of the shipyards, requalified everything on the ship so that we were considered seaworthy. Made the ship habitable again, so you could sleep in the barracks and whatnot, eat food out of the galley. We went on deployment January 15th, 2010. We were originally going to go do an African deployment, go to Africa, West Africa, for something called African Partnership Station 10, right? 2010. It is one big-ass mug, dude. This thing's motherfucking huge, bro. I like my big-ass mugs. So good. So we went to African Partnership Station 10. Anyways, yeah, okay. So January 12th, 2010, a little thing happened in Haiti. It was a 7.0 fucking earthquake. 7.0 magnitude earthquake that happened. Jesus fuck, dude, the fucking vape scared the shit out of me, dude.
Yeah, those
fuck, bro. I'm like fucking focused on my story here, dude. You're fucking god damn.
Watch out, those O's come out of nowhere, man.
My father's Army Infantry unit got some new M2 50 cals, and this dude blew up, melted the barrel, and it was only there for 3 minutes. Yeah, you can fucking kill someone with just mishandling the M2. That gun is a serious fucking gun. The 50 caliber bullet is no fucking joke. That's a big motherfucking round. And if you fuck something up and that thing fucking blows up and that round does not come out of that barrel, what's going to happen is the way a gun works is it has pressure. It uses the pressure from the explosion to push the round through the barrel. And when it comes out, all that pressure is released. That bullet can't come out. If you fuck something up with that gun by putting it back together, you didn't clean it right, it's not maintenance right, something's not greased right, anything you did wrong with that, and that projectile gets jammed, that explosion's coming right out the top. The top of that thing will blow up. The fucking explosion's gonna hit your fucking face, your hands, right? You don't fuck around with that gun. You gotta take fucking, that shit is extremely seriously. Not something, if you fuck something up, that's someone's fucking life. Someone's fucking life. Polter vape, I know, right? Jesus Christ. Grandpa's in there, dude. Tell me about it. Hey, 2 operator, how's it going, bro? I've been good. Anyways, so we're advancing. We're going to deployment. So the earthquake happened. We were ready to go do Africa Partnership Station 2010, which is basically just a big humanitarian aid thing to Africa. They do every year. We clean up their schools, give them books and some food and medicine and that kind of shit. So my boat was set to leave January 15th for deployment to Africa for humanitarian aid. But the earthquake happened in 2012, or the 12th of January, 3 days prior that we were set to already leave for. My boat was ready to go provide humanitarian aid. So we got diverted to Haiti, which I actually thought was kind of cool. I felt that was probably my proudest moment in the Navy, was going to Haiti and getting to go help those people. Like, it felt extremely gratifying getting to do humanitarian aid work for someone else. And I earned my humanitarian aid ribbon for that. I'm going to do PUBG later, Zay. Just, we're doing this one for now. Just, I want to change it up a little bit, but... So... Anyways, I told you guys a story the other night. For those of you that were here for this, my Tree Fitty donation, story time, thing, where I was after Haiti, we went to Spain. This was by the time we got to Spain, it was like 2 months into the deployment. And you spend all that time in Haiti where it's, your all creature comforts are pretty much taken away from you. Not all, but it's not like fucking living at your fucking house here in stateside, By the time you get over where you can actually like go out in town and go do something like drink, get a hooker, that kind of stuff. Especially if you've been fucking holed up for fucking 2 months. Some people are gonna go a little cray cray. They're like, I'm free! I'm free! Including our captain. The truth about my sex stories. Right? And that's what our captain. Now, the first night we got there to Spain, I was on duty. The ship always has to be manned by someone. They break it up into 3-section duty. A third of the ship stays behind, the other 2/3 leaves. Next day, the next third of the ship stays, and the other third, they just swap out. You know what I mean? So my duty section just so happened to fall on that day, and I had to stand watch. And I had to stand the shitty watch, which was from, I think it was like the 10 to 2 watch or something like that. Like 10 at night to 2 in the morning or some shit like that. And everyone starts getting back from Liberty around midnight to 2 o'clock, right? They start getting back from in town to be on the ship because there's a curfew. Spoiler, they were all lies. Play PUBG? Yeah, that'll be later, Philippe. That'll be later, Philippe. Felipe. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's not the stream we're doing right now. So, okay. So, I'm standing a watch called Topside Rover. Forecastle, right? We had 2 topside rovers. That was a guy that was on the topside part of the ship, on the front part of the ship, which, I'll just make this easy for you guys here. We'll use pictures. Okay. Let's switch back. So, like, this right here is the aft section of the ship. And then, boop. This part right here is the forecastle. It's spelled like forecastle, but it's pronounced forecastle. That's the forecastle, or the bow, whatever you want to call it. So I was topside rover, so that means I was up on this section right here, just walking around with an M16 rifle and an M9, pistol sidearm on me, and then there was a guy in the back. So there was a quarterdeck. The brow is over here, right on this side, where you go up to get onto the ship, right? And then there's a thing called a quarterdeck. That's where you enter the ship, right? So the brow is just a fucking plank that goes from the pier up to the ship. Just to clear those words up for you guys so you can understand what I'm talking about here. Put the subtitles on, please, for a live stream. I don't know if that doesn't work, dude. Can the potato kill someone? I'll be jealous. Hey, Matt. Respect to you too, my brother. I just leaked my Facebook. To be honest with you guys, I don't mind if you want to friend me on my Facebook. My regular fucking Facebook. Doesn't matter to me. So anyways, I'm topside rover on the forecastle with my gun. It's like midnight. And you got a radio on you, right? And the captain, right, is he's off the ship enjoying his liberty. So someone else is put in charge of the ship, and that was our damage control assistant, right? This guy was a warrant officer. He's put in charge of the ship. While the captain and the executive officer and the command master chief and all the other higher-ups were all off the ship out enjoying their liberty out in town in Spain. You saw my nudes on Facebook? I don't care. Stalk me on Facebook all you want, my brother. My brother. I will show you the way. So I'm up there, and I'm doing my rounds, just walking around the goddamn forecastle, making sure no fucking swimmers in the water. Some fucking Al Qaeda guy found us in Spain, and they want to fucking shimmy up the fucking side of the ship. I got my fucking M16 right here, and I'm looking at the pier and making sure there's no fucking suicide bombers running in like jihad, jihad! What's the thing that we say in the game in PUBG when we got a fucking nade? Fuck, what's it called? When we're gonna go suicide ourselves. Fuck, I can't think of the fucking thing right now. Guys, what is it? What is it? Backing out of the dead memes? I know, right? What is the fucking thing that we say when we got the nades in PUBG and we're gonna go fucking suicide bomb them with the fucking nade? What the fuck? It's not jihad that we say. Allahu Akbar! Yeah. That's what it is. Making sure there's no fucking terrorists running up the pier being like, with fucking bomb vest on them, being like, Allahu Akbar! Jihad! Anyways. God, you guys are coming in with that shit now. So, anyways, I'm looking over at the pier. Okay, so I hear over the radio the DCA, damage control assistant, the warrant officer dude, that's the guy's in charge of the ship at the moment, while the captain's off. We called him the voice of God, by the way, because he was like this 250-pound, 6'4" motherfucker. He's a big motherfucking dude, gray hair. Guy was a fucking manly man, right? He was the guy that would come over the 1MC, which is the ship's PA system, when there's like a fire emergency. We did a drill or something, a fire drill. He'd be like, USS Gunston Hall, this is the DCA reporting from the Damage Control Central. I have taken over Damage Control Central and am overlooking all fire emergency procedures. But he had like this, dude, he had the voice of God, I swear to God. And we called him that. Even so much so that he played Neptune when I did our crossing the line ceremony, and I got my shell back, which is when you cross the equator, called shell back, and you have a little ceremony. Anyways. So, you guys really like that Allahu Akbar thing, didn't you? So anyways, he comes over the radio and he's like, I hear something from like the quarterdeck. Like, it's like quarterdeck DCA. He's like, this is DCA. And, your go for comm or some, whatever the fucking shit was that we would say over the radio. And like quarterdeck would be like, DCA, we've got a report that the captain is from our shore patrol. That captain is getting a little out of hand out in town, and they're requesting that you personally come and pick him up. And so he's like, all right, let me go change in my civilian clothes, and I'll be down there. Make sure I have a car ready to bring me out to his location, or, you know, basically how it went down on the radio. And I watch him leave the ship, get in the fucking little taxi van, whatever, and fucking go out in town. Sure enough, 30 minutes later, they get back on the pier, and DCA gets out. This big burly man that I'm talking about, right? Gets out of the van, and he opens up the side of the van. And motherfucking captain, he's like, I can hear bits and pieces of what they're saying, because there's quite a bit of yelling going on between the DCA and the captain of the ship. But basically, the captain's drunk as fuck, like completely fucking obliterated, right? He's also with the executive officer and the command master chief, who are also completely fucking obliterated, right? They're just fucking drunk off their goddamn asses. And the DCA is like, he's like, come on, skipper, get out of the van, get on the ship. Captain's like, you can't tell me what to do. I'm the captain of the goddamn ship. I outrank you, DCA. You know, just basically some sort of drunken talk like that. And DCA is literally, like I said, he's a 250-pound, 6'4" motherfucker, big burly, manly man. Right? Motherfucker reaches into the side of the van, fucking yanks his ass, and literally drags the captain. And the captain's literally kicking and screaming like, you can't do this, I'm the captain! Blah, blah, blah. Just being a completely fucking drunk, stereotypical sailor, right? And I'm sitting up there with my M16 topside rover, sitting there watching this shit, laughing my fucking ass off like, God damn it, Captain, you're fucking wasted, dude. He literally is dragging the captain up the brow. If you guys remember what I said, the brow is that little fucking thing that connects the ship, you know, to the pier. You walk up it, and that's how you get on the ship. He's literally dragging the captain up the fucking brow. The captain's literally kicking and screaming, and I see his shoe fall off. The captain's shoe fall off, go into the fucking water. His wallet falls out of his pocket. That goes in the water, into the fucking bay. And he gets him on the ship, and then I think I hear some other comm afterwards from another duty section guy that's like, I can't remember who it was. It was like the yeoman or I don't know, some shit, because they needed to file a report. No, they never filed a report. This was like swept under the rug. It was, I don't know. It was something along the lines of like, hey, DCA is captain secure in his quarters. Oh, duty master at arms. That's what it was. The duty master at arms was basically in charge of the security of the ship while, you know, you're in a port. And duty master at arms is like, you know, DCA is the duty master at arms. Everything's secure with the captain. Is he in his quarters? DCA is like, captain's, he's just a little intoxicated. He is secure in his quarters. There's no further incident. Something like that. I was in the Navy, Ninja Screeder. Rip shoe. Yeah, I know, right, dude? Rip shoe. So, what's up, TX, by the way? How you doing, man? What's up, Muhammad? How's it going, dude? So, and that's what I witnessed. We went through the rest of our African deployment, did humanitarian aid shit. It's pretty day-to-day usual shit. You go out in town, you do some PR bullshit, clean up a school, that kind of stuff, hand out some fucking medical supplies and food and whatnot. Go out to sea. There's day-to-day stuff when you're out to sea. It's usual maintenance and whatever. Did the rest of our deployment. I do remember particularly one time when I was on deployment, I was walking by ops, CIC, Combat Information Center. That's where we have all our radars and all the cool gadgets and shit like that, all the cool technology stuff. And I'm walking by it, I'm like going around like doing maintenance on like our fucking fire hydrants or some shit, because I was, doing some stuff like that. And I walk by, and all I hear is the captain fucking yelling at our first lieutenant. First lieutenant, by the way, is like the third or fourth highest ranking officer on the ship. They're like in charge of like the boat, like making sure they're in charge of all the people that drive the boat and take care of the maintenance of the paint and all that stuff. Like, they're in charge of all that stuff. That's what the first lieutenant is. But they stand watch in operations. All the officers stand watch in operations, like overlooking our operations, like all of our radar people. And all I hear is something along the lines of the captain's cussing her the fuck out, which is usual in the military. People get cussed out when they fuck up. You know, something along the lines of like, did you not turn that over to Lieutenant blah, 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 after you finished your watch last night? Why the fuck did I not hear about this? You know, it was like a fucking minor thing, but there was lack of communication to the captain. Like, he didn't know what was going on in the ship, and he was a little pissed about it. And he's cussing her out about it, right? But we were entering, at this point in 2010, new Navy. We were going away from old school Navy to new Navy, where we were going from, don't fucking make me out to be some kind of homophobe or some shit, but at that time, it was against regulations for homosexuals to be in the military. When I got out in the end of 2011, it was then okay for homosexuals to be in the military. It used to be a don't ask, don't tell story, thing, and then it was like, you can be gay and it's okay. You can be in the military if you're gay. Anyways, they were switching, where they made it where the crossing the line ceremony, where there used to be, when you would cross the equator and get your shell back, it was like some heavy, crazy hazing that went on, where they fucking do all sorts of crazy shit. Now they don't do all sorts of crazy shit anymore when you cross the line. So we went from old Navy to liberal, whiny, bitchy Navy. I'm going to complain about everything. That's where we were going to. And anyways, you could tell she was a little pouty about it. Pantomime angrily from work. Hey, Anasaur, how's it going, man? How's it going? What's up, Zombie Kills? How's it going, dude? How old was I? I was 21 when I signed up. I was 21 years old. So I'm seeing her getting all pouty about it, and she obviously didn't see how she was wrong. She didn't see how even that little glimpse of what I saw there. I think it was quite obvious to me that it was just quite obvious to me that she didn't realize that, hey, listen, you fucked up, accept your goddamn fucker. Like, obviously the captain wanted something communicated to him, which he didn't communicate. He found out the hard way the next day that you didn't fucking communicate some minor fucking thing, and now he's pissed about it, because even if it's minor, captain needs to fucking know what's going on his ship in order for him to captain the ship well. I can't have him yelling profanity in my place of business. I'm sorry, Fiction. I won't yell anymore. You look forward to story time? It's pretty good. I'm really into this right now, Anasaur. I should do this kind of thing more often. So we did the rest of our deployment, got back home in late June 2010, back stateside. After you go on a long deployment like that, you're given some time off, like a couple weeks, go home, see your family, that kind of shit. And that's what we had. I left for 2 weeks after my deployment, and I got back. First thing I do is I smoke cigarettes still at the time. I go to the smoke deck. It's a designated area of the ship, outside of the ship, on the top side part of the ship, where you can smoke. And I go out there, and there's a couple people out there smoking, and go out there, light up a cigarette, and so Adam, did you hear what happened with the captain? I'm like, no, it happened. I got you muted, swear away. All right, Fiction. So I'm like, no, it happened to the captain. Well, captain has been relieved of duty. And also the command master chief and also the executive officer have also been relieved of duty. And I'm like, wait, what? Did I miss something? Did we not just have a very successful deployment where we did everything we were supposed to do and then some by going to Haiti? And I go on leave and I come back, and the captain, the executive officer, and the command master chief. The command master chief, by the way, is the highest enlisted sailor on the ship. It's a guy that's got 20-something years in the Navy. I'm like, what the fuck happened while I was gone on leave? Like seriously, what the hell happened? It's something about Admiral's mast. He had to go see the Admiral, and got a non-judicial punishment. NJP is what it's called, non-judicial punishment. He got in trouble over something about sexual harassment and drunken disorderly, and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, I knew, because I saw that whole incident with the captain being drunk, right? And I knew that whole issue with him. And, but I was like, he's just being a drunken sailor like anyone else, basically. But he's the fucking captain, so whatever. Did Master Chief have the energy sword? Actually, Brad, you know what? Our Master Chief, he like broke his leg during that deployment. And that motherfucker had a cane for like the last half of deployment. He was walking around the ship with a goddamn cane. So that was his energy sword, right? Because Halo takes place in the future, right? But they still, Master Chief is the Master Chief in the Navy. But the Navy goes all, spaceborne in the future. So, but he was the modern day Master Chief like what you saw in Halo. But his energy sword was the motherfucking cane because he broke a goddamn leg. Which was actually, I think, a drunken incident that he had. So basically what it boiled down to, here's the news report. I pulled it up for you guys already. Here we go. All right, we're gonna pull this up. So was it yes, repping it. I had to find a way to relate it. Okay, guys, so this is the article that was released when this happened, 8/12/2010. So it wasn't released for another 2 months after this actually happened, when the story actually broke. But Rear Admiral Dave Thomas, Commander, Naval Surface Force Atlantic Fleet, relieved Commander Fred R. Wilhelm, the commanding officer of the Little Creek-based amphibious dock landing ship USS Gunston Hall, LSD-44, August 12, due to a loss of confidence in Wilhelm's ability to command. The relief occurred during Admiral's mast and comes after an investigation into allegations of sexual harassment, simple assault, and conduct unbecoming of an officer against Wilhelm. He has been reassigned to administrative duties at ComNavSurflant, which stands for the Naval Surface Force Atlantic. All right. Gunston Hall is now commanded by Captain Mark H. Scoville, recently the Deputy Commander, Amphibious Squadron 8, and he will serve until the next commanding officer reports to the ship in December 2010. The ship's former executive officer, XO, Commander Kevin S. Rafferty, and former Command Master Chief, CMDCM SS means he was a sub guy, Wayne Owings, who were on board at the time the incidents occurred, also received non-judicial punishment at Admiral's mast for failing to take action after repeated observations of inappropriate conduct. However, Owings also faced sexual harassment and simple assault charges for his conduct. The former XO and former CMC have reported to ComNavSurflant for administrative duties. Rafferty's relief arrived on board Gunston Hall as previously scheduled on July 26. He immediately assumed the duties of XO, and Rafferty transferred prior to the completion of the investigation. The new Command Master Chief was previously scheduled to report July 30th, and he too assumed the duties of Command Master Chief prior to the completion of the investigation. That's what you got from the news article. That was the press release. All right. Yeah. Apparently, what I had witnessed that night of the whole drunken incident that happened was considered the disorderly conduct or conduct unbecoming an officer. And apparently, from what I had heard, I never saw any of this, but apparently he liked to poke and tickle some of the junior officer girls, and yeah. I don't know. Didn't seem like anything big, but that's what the sexual harassment was from. And I guess the Command Master Chief did the same thing. He did like the poke and tickle thing or something. And the executive officer was relieved of his duty because he did not report the captain to the admiral, the captain or the Command Master Chief to the admiral after observing this stuff. Any Bigfoot encounters? No. Do special operations? I did. To operator. I talked about that at the beginning of the stream. So this will archive. You could always go back. You could probably go back right now, actually, and go hear about that if you want to, or watch it afterwards. So, yeah, that happened. Get back to what I was talking about in the beginning. I had these hopes and dreams when I got to the ship. I wanted to go do the. I wanted to be on the VBSS team, visit board search and seizure. I wanted to be the search and rescue swimmer for the ship and all this cool stuff, and never happened. So basically, the entire upper chain of command on my ship was just completely fucked up. Just very extremely poor ethics, personal ethics, and poor moral codes. It was the funniest thing I saw in the Navy. We'll get to the Q&A stuff here, Anasara. Zero. That shit is so fucking hilarious. So, yeah. I'm going to be a little bit more honest with you. I have told you guys that I got kicked out for smoking pot. What I haven't told you guys is why I did it. I was so depressed by the time 2011 came around. I went on my leave for Christmas, from going from 2010 to 2011 New Year, right, for that Christmas leave. Went home. And I was just so, I mean, at this point I'd already had a little over 3 years in the Navy or something like that. I was about to get out anyways. And I just, like, I didn't get to do the things I wanted to do. And I had such a toxic command climate. It's extremely rare. Like, every year, like, a branch will fire a captain, like, maybe 10 times that'll happen throughout a year, right? And it's usually related to some sort of alcohol thing or some sort of sexual thing or something like that. They cheated on their wife, you know, stupid shit like that, indiscretion, that kind of stuff. And so, what was I gonna say? I stopped caring. I didn't give a fuck about the military. I fucking hated the military. Because I was just around so many bad people that were over me that I had no power over. I couldn't do anything, right? Because you're in the military, that command, if someone's outranks you, there ain't shit you can do, right? If they're fucked up. It's follow orders and that's it. So I just really stopped caring. And I tried to get out with stupid excuses, like saying, oh, I'm a conscientious objector, right? That didn't work. That just made shit harder for me, actually, by doing that. So don't do that to try to get out. Conscientious objector, by the way, means, if you don't understand what that means, it means you're like, you don't believe in war, you don't believe in shooting other people, that kind of thing. Thought that'd be a way to get out, because I looked up some regulations, but they saw past it and didn't work. So I got to a point, it wasn't like I was necessarily purposely trying to get out at this point, because I had literally, like, at this point, maybe 8 months left of my military contract. But I went home on that Christmas. I just didn't give a fuck whether I was kicked out or not. And I went home, I smoked weed with some friends, and I came back from my leave, got to the ship. They do the random drug test when you get back from a long leave period. So it's not so random. And I failed. I failed the drug test. And the Navy has a zero tolerance policy on drugs. If you've smoked even weed and you fail your piss test, you're done. You're done, son. You're done. They kick you out. And that's what happened. I just didn't care anymore. Like, to me, it was just like, I was so apathetic about the Navy. It was just like, I just didn't care, you know? I actually started my next deployment. I was on my next deployment by the time the drug test results came back. And my fucking boat fucking pulled into Florida. We were literally out to sea. Boat pulled into fucking Mayport, Florida, dropped my ass off, and sent my ass fucking back to Norfolk, Virginia, to administratively separate me. Fortunately for me, I went and saw a JAG lawyer to see if I could somehow make it to my honorable discharge that was coming up in October. This was in late January, by the way, by the time I was kicked off the ship. I had, like, what is that? Like 8 months left? I had, like, something like that. So I had, I went and saw a JAG lawyer. I was like, how can I make it to my 8 more months to stay in and get my honorable discharge? And he said, well, here's the thing. It takes a long time sometimes to get administratively separated. And if you make it to your discharge date. Rather than keep you in after your discharge date to administratively separate you and do all that paperwork, they'll just honorably discharge you for your regular discharge. Because I was trying, at that point, I just wanted to get out honorably, not other than honorably, because that's what I was facing, was an other than honorable discharge. I wanted to get my honorable discharge, so I kept my benefits, and I can go to college. And they'll pay me to go to college, and they'll also pay for my fucking rent, and my food, and all that shit. And I'll have VA benefits, so I can fucking go to the doctor after I get out. And if you have another than honorable discharge, you get none of that. You don't go to college. You don't get to go see a doctor afterwards. You're done. You're done, son. Is the weed good, though? It was okay. It was okay. I wouldn't say it was too primo. But anyways, luckily, the ship had fucked up the paperwork, and then they had to wait for them to get back from deployment to fix the paperwork, and then they fucked it up again. So I literally sat in a hold unit just doing fucking stupid paint work on ships, basically just fucking grunt work, and was painting the ship, these other ships and stuff like that, and this little thing called the Tiger Crew is what they call it. And I was literally just sitting on hold. 3 months later, the ship comes back, and I'm like, all right, this is when I'm getting kicked out, you know. And I did fight it. So the JAG officer knew I wasn't gonna win if I went to an administrative board. Now, here's the thing: you can fight it, or you can just like lay over and just let them kick you out. But if you want to fight it, that puts more time in, right? And here's the thing: we were just trying to push the time to the October discharge date that I was already going to have anyways, my regular discharge, my regular honorable discharge. And we were just trying to go for that best case. So we requested an administrative board to fight my discharge that the captain issued me. And we knew we weren't going to win. We knew we weren't going to win. But that wasn't the point. The point was to insert more time in to get me to my October discharge date, my regular discharge date. And that worked, sort of, to a degree. It took another 2 months. Oh, so this is what happened. So we waited 3 months for the ship to get back. Now it's, I don't know, early April, end of March. Ship gets back, refiles the administrative separation paperwork to Boopers, which is the personnel main place for personnel stuff, paperwork stuff for all the Navy people. And they refiled it. And when they refiled it, they fucked it up again. They fucked it up again. And then the administrative people on the ship got transferred off, and new people came in. And so it took them like another month to redo it and send it back in correctly. So here we are now in like May, and I'm like, I'm gonna do this. We're gonna make it to that October discharge date. We're gonna do this. I want to get out honorably. I'm gonna beat the system. And then we requested, and then as soon as that paperwork was filed, then my JAG lawyer's like, okay, now we can file an administrative board. We can file for an administrative board to fight it. And that's going to take some time. So we did that. Another 2 months go by or so. Another month maybe. And it's like fucking early June or something like that. And go do my administrative board. And they're like, no, you failed a drug test. You definitely did it. We're kicking you out. Other than honorably still. I'm like, okay, sounds good. And then my lawyer did whatever he could. They were supposed to kick me out the day after that administrative board. My lawyer did whatever he could to keep fucking up the paperwork, making it take time. Literally, it took a couple of weeks, and it was like the end of June, and I finally got kicked out, basically. So I couldn't make it happen to get to that October date, my discharge date, and I was administratively separated, other than honorably. Anyways, wow, that's like my entire, what was that, an hour and 19 minutes. That's my entire, pretty much, Navy synopsis summary of my Navy career. And, but the thing is, it would have been, had I not been in the type of command that I was in with such fucked up leadership, my time in the military would have been better. I had friends that I've gone to school with that were stationed in Norfolk, and they're also stationed at Little Creek that, I stayed in touch with while I was still in, I was at my command, people I met in like A school and boot camp and stuff that I was still in touch with, and they tell me how their commands were going, and their stories were way different than me. They were having a fucking great time at their commands while I was having the shittiest fucking time of my life with a fucking douchebag ghetto supervisor, my GM1, my leading petty officer, LPO as we called it, who is fucking just ghetto and probably still in a gang. He's probably, by the way, there is gangs in the Navy. It's more prominent on the carriers, but there is Bloods and Crips in the military, in the Navy, and they still operate. Just letting you know, that does happen. But yeah, you have some kind of ghetto hood rat as your immediate supervisor, and then you got a captain, an executive officer, and command master chief that all get fucking fired because they're fucking fucked up too. And it wasn't just that either. The entire chief's mess was fucked up. The chiefs are considered to be the backbone of the Navy. They're your senior enlisted people. And there is even, this is how fucked up they were. Did I know a Tim who is on a submarine? I do not know a Tim that was on a submarine. In fact, I barely knew many people that were on any submarines because I was surface. I was surface fleet. And I pretty much just knew people that I went to school with or was in my command. Yeah, there's a whole other story there where there was a chief on board my ship. She was a PS, a personnel specialist, so she worked in the admin area of the ship, and she was like in her early 30s, maybe mid 30s. And she was fucking smoking hot. She was smoking hot. Like, just smoking fucking hot. Like, MILF-looking smoking hot. Kind of like, yeah. And I had to do this inspection of a space that I had worked on where I did some work on a door gasket, like a hatch gasket. Like, all of the hatches are watertight, and they have gaskets around the hatches that seal them so that if you fucking close that hatch, water won't get through. It's all, ships are all compartmentalized to prevent flooding. So I had replaced the gasket in this hatch, and whenever you do something like that, it's considered like more of a major type of maintenance, and it has to be, it just has to be inspected by a khaki, basically, and either an officer or a chief or someone senior, basically, has to inspect your work, just to make sure that, we're safe, we're good, And anyways, part of that inspection, when you replace a gasket, part of the inspection is you go into the little compartment, the space, that's what you call it in the Navy, the room, on board the ship. You lock down the hatch, and then you turn the light off to make sure that you're not seeing any light coming through the outer rim of the door, making sure that the gasket is getting a proper seal. It's part of the inspection. There's other parts that are more confirmative of that, but anyways, right before I turned the light off, it was like, she was like giving me these looks like I want to fuck, basically. And I had a reputation on the ship anyways of being known as the fucking player, like the easy to get with kind of guy. BRB, all right, 0. He ran a nuclear sub. Oh, okay. So anyway, she was already giving me that kind of look, and then I was like, yeah, we have to both, be in here. I'm reading literally what the fucking little instruction sheet says for doing this inspection with her. And I was like, yeah, okay, so now we have to, close the hatch and turn off the light. And she's like, oh, and do we both have to be in there together? And I was like, yeah, we both have to do and make sure that no light. I'm trying to be professional, because we're like on duty on the job. And when I was out my own time, I was wild and free. But when I was on duty and doing my job, I was pretty professional. And so she was like, it's like, yeah, so we both have to be in there? And I'm like, yeah. Oh, okay. She's like, what's gonna happen when we're in there? And I was like, we're like, I knew what she was like. That's how she was talking. I was like, I was just trying to be professional. Like, well, I closed the hatch and turned the light off, make sure no light is leaking through. And she's like, oh, is that all we're gonna do? And I was like, yeah, that's what the card says, yeah. And she's like, tell you. And she's like, oh, okay. Well, let's see what happens when we go in there, huh? And I was like, okay. Like, I was feeling uncomfortable because, like, she was a khaki, she was in senior enlisted, and, like, I didn't know, I felt like she was trying to be dirty, because that's, like, completely a big no-no. Big no-no. Junior enlisted, do not have fraternize with senior enlisted, especially on the ship. You don't fuck on the ship. Alright? You fuck on the ship and it gets found out, you're done. And there was already an incident with that, with our fucking, with our master at arms on the ship that fraternized with an officer. And that didn't go down too well. He ended up, that didn't go down too well. No, I don't have a girlfriend, Carrie. Not right now. So, anyways, I was actually kind of, like, feeling a little uncomfortable because, like, yeah, did I want to hit that? Fuck yeah, dude. She was a goddamn MILF. Here you got this, like, 35-year-old, I was, like, at that time, I was, like, fuck, 2010. How old was I? 31 right now. I was, like, 23. That was, like, 8 years ago. This was in 2010. Like 8 years ago, dude. I was, like, 23 years old. I was horny as fuck, dude. She was, like, 35. She's, like, 12 years older now. I'm like, damn, I want to hit that shit. Anyways, so we go in the space and I close the door and I was like, all right, now I gotta turn the light off. I'm like reading this card, I'm trying to be professional. Turn off the light and my heart was like, because like I wanted to fuck her and I know she wanted to fuck, and at the same time I was like, I'm trying to be professional and like I don't want to get in trouble. And I don't know if she set me up or if she really just wants to, like, do this. And, like, I kind of did, but I was like, fuck, what if someone hears us, like, out there, opens the fucking hatch? Like, that's our fuck. Both of us fucking asses were done. And, so my heart's, like, going like this. And I'm horny. My dick's, like, getting hard. And, like, I want to fuck, So, turn off the light. And I was like, all right, I guess we'll see if, we can see any light coming through. We're literally, like, no lights on in here. It's completely fucking dark. And I had a flashlight, that I turned on when I turned the light off. And I was like, all right, now I have to turn the flashlight off. And we have to, inspect the door cracks, make sure there's nothing coming through. It's like, oh, okay, well, turn the flashlight off then. And I'm like, okay. So I turned the flashlight off. And she literally, like, hatch on the fucking ship is like, it's not that. It's like literally big enough for one person. So I'm like up against the corner, like, the way the room is, it was a really small, it was like a closet space type room. And so the wall was right here, and then the hatch was right here in front of me, and then there's like a little bit more over here, and it was like literally like the size of this box, basically, that room. And she literally just, like, hold on, let me get up close here and make sure, you can't see any light coming through. And she literally just comes up on me, pushes her fucking tits, like right up on me, and she smells so good, too. God damn, I want to fuck her. And then she's just like, I don't know, let me just get a little bit closer. And she was like trying, and she put her hand on me and like rubbed my arm. She's like going like this. It's like, sorry, is this too close for you? And I'm like, no, it's fine. It's gonna find space, And she's like, oh, she's like, you smell nice. You showered today or something stupid like that. I don't know. And she was just being flirtatious, basically. And I was like, well, I don't see any light coming through. Do you see any light coming through? And I was like, no. Did she have a boyfriend or husband? She did not. She was single. That I did know. Well, at this point, when that was happening, I was on my deployment. I did not do the whole smoking pot incident yet. So, Keelan, if you live with Adam, then come to the live. What? Okay. So, God, I wish I did fuck her. I wish I did. I wanted to fuck her so bad. I didn't have a condom either, though. That was the other thing, But But anyways, you know, she was like, all right, well, you know, what do we do next? You know, we have to stay in here for a little bit. Like, she was just being completely obvious. Like, I think that's it. I think I can turn the light on now. And she's like, oh, that's too bad. I wish that we could have stayed in here a little bit longer. I was like, yeah, okay. Well, I think that's it. I just need to sign off on here, and we can, you know, go back to what, you know, our work. So, like, okay, you know, and she was like going from like minorly disappointed to like kind of pissed, like that we didn't fuck. So, okay, then I guess I'll just sign off on this. So, yeah, dude, sexual seduction, straight up. God, I wish I fucked her. I should have. Because here's the thing. A couple weeks later, there's a senior chief on board our ship. Our corpsman senior chief, who's the senior enlisted for all of the corpsmen. A corpsman on the ship is your medics, basically. They're like EMTs, basically. And he was a flaming homo. Like straight up, this guy was the most flamboyant guy, you know, you had ever met. And not saying like if he wants to be homo, that's fine. I don't give a fuck. People want to be gay, that's fine. That's the way they are. That's what they want to be. That's what they are. I don't know, but I don't give a fuck. You want to be gay, go be gay. I don't care. But the thing is, like, he was just one of those types of people that were just like, I don't know. Anyways, he should have never been in the military anyways at that time, because at that time it was actually against regulations to be gay in the military. And I had no respect for the guy. I was a complete fucking asshole. I would have made sure there was no light coming out of her crack. You know what I'm saying? I know, right? We went to masturbate in the restroom earlier. My dad flushed. Anyways, we're done with that part of the story. So, me and him got in a little tiff. He had set me up to where I was scheduled on 2 different watches at the same time. I was supposed to be in 2 different places at the same exact time. But they had set me up to where either way I was going to be not there for one, and I was going to get in trouble. And I just completely fucking set up, basically. And every time I join your streams, you're giving sex stories. I know, right, broski? And so I had to go in front of all the chiefs, and lo and behold, this was just a few weeks later, by the way. Lo and behold, guess what's all the chiefs are in there, and of course, that chief that I had that little sexual encounter with was also there in front of all the chiefs. So they call it disciplinary review board, by the way. It's like the chiefs are gonna take a look at you and be like, hey, they're gonna chew you the fuck out. And then they're going to recommend that you go see the executive officer, and then therefore go to the captain, and then you get some sort of punishment. Because I wasn't at my watch or something. That's what it was. But I was set up. Like, I was supposed to be on a gun watch, and then I was supposed to be on a quarterdeck watch. I knew I had the gun watch a day in advance. And then, and I looked at the regular watch bill for the regular ship watches, and I saw, okay, I'm not good. They didn't schedule me for anything because I'm standing this other watch. And sure enough, that morning, they're like, you know, one of the quarterdeck watches just comes up and wakes me up, and he's like, "Hey, Adam, you're supposed to be on watch right now." And I'm like, "No, I'm not." He's like, "Yeah, you're supposed to be on watch right now." I was like, "I wasn't on the watch bill. I checked it last night before I went to bed." Like, "Oh no, they changed it just now, this morning." I can't stand that watch because in about 30 minutes. I have to go stand my gun mount watch because we're getting underway. So there's a confliction of watches there. You're going to have to find someone else. I'm sorry. And usually that's how it goes. Like, sometimes that happens, you know, where 2 watches conflict with one another. And my gun watch takes priority because if all the guns aren't manned, that ship ain't leaving the fucking pier. And that's what we were doing that morning. And so that watch had definite priority. I don't fucking care standing watch. Standing watch is fucking easy. You get a goddamn gun and you just stand in a spot. It's goddamn easiest fucking thing in the world. Guess it's a good thing because it gets you out of doing fucking manual labor shit usually. So anyways, I went down to the armory. You know, I got up. I had to get up anyways, and I fucking got up, took my shower. Put my fucking uniform on. I go down to the armory. I'm starting to put on my bulletproof vest, my bulletproof helmet, getting ready to go on my gun watch, getting ready to grab my keys so I can go open the ammo locker and get my ammo for my 50 cal gun that I'm standing watch on. And they call me to the quarterdeck, and the senior chief is there, and he's like, Adam, get in your fucking dress blues and get on watch right now on the quarterdeck. I'm like, senior chief, I said this to the messenger of the watch 45 minutes ago. I have gun watch. We are about to get underway. And he's like, I don't give a fuck. You know, he's in his flamboyant voice, like, you know, get in your fucking blues, you stupid little fucker, and get on quarterdeck watch. And I'm like, but senior chief, I don't give a fuck. You better fucking. I was like, okay, got it, senior chief. I got you. I go up, get my blues, go back down to the quarterdeck. Of course, by the way, no one else knows, you know, my actual regular division. You know, none of them know. None of my seniors there know that he just fucking stuck me on this goddamn watch and forced me to do it. Wouldn't let me fucking say anything or whatever. But when I get down to the quarterdeck in my dress blues, by the way, these are dress blues. I'll show you, by the way. Bloop. That uniform is your dress blues. The wonderful, wonderful Cracker Jacks. The classic Cracker Jacks. So anyways, I get my dress blues, get down to the quarterdeck, and then I call up the armory. I'm like, hey, senior chief stuck me on messenger watch. I tried to tell him that I had gun watch. He didn't want to hear it. Can you let our division officer know or something, someone know that you're going to have to find someone else or find a replacement for me? I don't know, but I know I need to be on this gun watch. And my division officers call me up, cuss me out. Why the fuck are you listening to senior chief? Get down to the fucking armory right now. And get your fucking vest on, your helmet, get in the front of the ship on your fucking 50 cal. Then my division officers cuss me out. I'm like, roger that, Lieutenant. Roger that. Now I got an officer telling me to go back on the other watch that I was supposed to be on, that I knew I was supposed to be on. And so anyways, how many women is in the destroyer? I was not on a destroyer. I was on an amphibious ship. And about 30% of our crew was female. Hero who's Asian, listening to Adam stories. I don't know, maybe. Can I have a 50 cal? No, that's military only. Alright, Keelan. See you in a couple minutes. So, anyways, I went over to the officer of the deck who was on the quarterdeck. Who was, I was a messenger of the watch. They have a messenger of the watch, a petty officer of the watch, and then you have the officer of the deck. That you have 3 people there that are on the quarterdeck, where the entrance of the ship, right? And hey Brody, how's it going, bro? Who outranks who on ship? Officers always outrank enlisteds. Hey Chaz, how's it going, dude? Can you F the captain in the... No. You can't F the captain in the bathroom. There's no fraternization on a ship. It's very, very highly frowned upon. So, I tell the officer deck, I'm like, hey, my division officer is ordering me now to go stand my gun watch. So, I'm going to go stand that watch. And we're getting underway in about 15 minutes, and this ship ain't going anywhere unless everyone's manned on the guns. And I was the only other qualified person to be on that 50 cal. There's no one else. Because the other 3 that were qualified to be on 50 cals were on their fucking guns. And we needed all 4 50 cals manned up. And I was the 4th guy that was qualified. There was no one else qualified to stand that watch. So, any sexy nurse? Actually, our doctor on the ship, she was fucking hot as balls, dude. Dude, I would have done dirty things to her. Yes, you can, just don't get caught. Yeah, you can. Yeah, what G Certified said. You can, don't get caught. So, anyways, I go. I tell the officer, I gotta leave. She's like, well, I can get a relief for you. Let me get a relief for you. But I can't have this. I can't have you not be here. I need this post man. So we gotta at least find you a relief so you can go to the gun. I'm like, okay, you got 5 minutes. Otherwise, I'm leaving. And then the Officer Dak was calling around trying to find relief for me. There was plenty of people that could have relieved me for that watch. It was a fucking easy-ass watch. The Messenger of the Watch is the easiest. It's like the lowest watch you could ever have. You don't need to be qualified to stand that watch to do it, you know. It's not like standing a fucking gun watch where you have to be qualified on that weapon to, you know, be able to use it. Messenger watch just fucking sits there, and that's all they pretty much do. And they just deliver messages to people on the ship. That's all they do. So, anyways, the senior chief finds out that they're trying to find a relief for me. Senior chief comes out and says, "No, GM3 Pyres is not going any." Remember, he's gay. I'm trying to do his gay voice because, like I said, he was flamboyantly gay. He's like, "No, GM3 Pyres is not going anywhere. He is standing the full watch. He is not getting out of this watch." You know? And I was like, you know, then it ended up being a whole tiff between my division officer, my leading petty officer, my chief, that senior chief, duty section. Dude, like, everyone was just, like, all in this. He was just causing so many fucking problems. And here I am caught in the fucking middle of this shit. Got it, bro? Alright. See you later, too, operator. Nailed the gay voice? Did I? Did I nail? Nailed it. So anyways, I think what ended up happening was my division officer was calling down to the quarterdeck and said, "Adam, I don't give a fuck what senior chief says. Get the fuck off the quarterdeck, get down to the armory, and get your vest on and get on that goddamn gun. The ship is leaving in 10 minutes, and I'm not going to be responsible for the ship not leaving on time for deployment because you're not on the gun, and not all of our guns are manned up. I need to be able to report to the captain that all of the guns are manned so that we can go underway." And I'm like, "Roger that, ma'am. Roger that." Which was what I needed. That I knew what needed to be done anyways. That gun was the most important. Me being on that gun was the most fucking important thing at that time. And that senior chief was just trying to fuck it all up. And the reason he was because he was out to get me. And I knew he was out to get me because a few months, actually a little over a year before that, before I went on my first deployment, I got in a drinking incident problem. I got into a drinking related incident. And he literally told me during the disciplinary review board that he was like, "I will weed you the fuck out of my Navy." When I was getting chewed out by the chiefs, he literally said, so he fucking had it out for me. He was just trying to find a way to get rid of me. And anyways, that was his way of doing it. So more or less, I finally got on the watch. Right on time, luckily, on the gun watch. And then I got sent up to go see to another disciplinary review board for insubordination, and then sent to the executive officer. Executive officer's like, "I'm disappointed that you're back here so soon." You know, I'm like, wow. This is complete bullshit. Because that was completely set up, you know. Anyways, that ship was just filled with just extremely poor ethics, and having a senior chief try to set me up for failure, and it's just extremely poor leadership. And I wish it went differently, but it didn't. Anyways, I'm out of stories. We can actually get into the Q&A part. You guys have been asking me questions anyways while we've been doing this, so you can feel free in the chat to ask me any questions that you may have had from that story or anything you've been curious about. Go. Assassinated Putin? No, dude. If I heard of the CRAM anti-air system, do you mean RAM? Rolling Airframe Missile anti-air? Because we do have the anti-air missiles, the anti-missiles. Rolling airframe missiles, they're missile to missile. It's an anti-missile defense. RAM, rolling airframe missile, yes, I have heard of. I actually went to RAM loading school, so I was instructed how to load the missiles in the RAM missile launcher. And, which is, I'll show you a picture of what a RAM looks like, actually. The front part of the ship, right here where this mouse is, that is the rolling airframe missile. I believe it holds like 21 missiles or something like that. We had 2 of them on board the ship. We had another one in the back as well. Actually, I think I have a close-up picture of it. Give me a second here. Bam! There it is. RAM. That is the rolling airframe missile right there. On board my ship. Wow! What's happening? Project's coming with a $5 donation. Awesome stream. Good insight.
Awesome stream. Good
Thank you,
insight.
dude. Thank you, dude, for the $5 donation. Guys, hashtag Brad in the chat for the $5 donation. Thank you, dude. I'm going to give you your... Hold on. We got to put back... What? I'm so bad at this overlay stuff. There's your Dragon Vape. Your Dragon Vape. Thank you, dude, for the $5. Guys, the hashtags for Brad in the chat. All right, hold on. Let's get back to these questions. So I hope that I'm hoping that's what you were asking, Chris. Hope that answers your question. Do you know Matt Walsh? That's a extremely like common sounding name. I feel like I did probably know a Matt Walsh, but I don't know. No anti-air system. All right, Vietnam flashbacks. How many male encounters did you have in the ship? Guys, if you didn't know, G Certified's in the Army, and there's always this branch-to-branch rivalry that goes on. The Army loves to, all these jokes, 100 sailors go out to sea, and 50 couples come back, type shit. All the gay jokes with the Navy. Luckily on my boat, by the way, 30% of my ship was female, and quite a few of them were pretty fucking hot, actually, and I did have sex with a few of them. But male encounters, I can tell you one thing. There was a couple, I knew who the gay guys were, 2 of which were in my fucking berthing, which I felt extremely uncomfortable with, but because they would I didn't care if they were gay as long as they respected the fact that I was heterosexual. But they didn't respect the fact that I was heterosexual, nor anyone else in there that was heterosexual. It was basically a fucking paradise for them. This is why they used to have the rule of it, you can't be homosexual in the military, because of you share the same berthing with them, where you get changed and get naked in front of them. And there was one in particular, an operations specialist, one of the guys that operates the radars, that made me feel pretty fucking uncomfortable, because every fucking time that I was in the berthing with him and I had to fucking take my uniform off and get changed, take my underwear off and all that shit and get naked, I felt uncomfortable because he would fucking look at me. He would check me out. He would literally make comments. He would be like, "Oh, Adam, look what you're packing." And I'd be like, "Dude, what the fuck? Quit fucking looking at me, dude. Alright? Just be respectful. I'm not gay. I don't give a fuck if you're gay. I don't care. I don't care if you're breaking regulations and you lied to the fucking Navy. But don't fucking look at me, and especially don't make any fucking comments." That's basically how that went down. And he still did shit afterwards. When he found out he had a gay relationship, he was having a gay relationship with someone else on the ship that was also in my berthing, and they were caught fooling around in the berthing one time. I remember one of the other gunner's mates in my division, who was he was metrosexual, heterosexual, like one of those guys that went clubbing to pick up girls kind of guy, it was all about how he, dressed and looked and all that stuff. So you could pick up girls. He's straight up pickup artist. I remember him getting into a little confrontation with him one time on the ship. He was like, "Yeah, man, I heard you're having a little relationship with that other dude." And he's like, little man to man action, right? And he's like, "You don't. He is a real man. He is a real man." That's literally how that went down. What is my favorite? Hold on. I'm going to scroll down because I'm sure you guys, I see some chat stuff. So I'm just going to go in order here. What was your favorite memory from the ship? My favorite memory, there was an especially beautiful sunset and the seas were calm. I'm going to show you some more pictures from my Facebook here. That right there. When you look out in the ocean and you have a sea that fucking calm. The ship is not rocking. You're out in the middle of the ocean and it's just complete peace and silence and serenity, and especially that picture I took that day, apparently August 6th, 2009. I had never felt so much at peace. Probably one of my most favorite moments on the ship and just being in the Navy in general. Yeah. So what was the funniest thing you saw in the Navy? Funniest thing that I saw in the Navy. Woo! God. I'm trying to think, like, there's lots of moments, like funny moments. I'm trying to think of like what stands out. And I guess that would be the funniest. God, funniest. It's not like a lot of funny stuff happens in the Navy, I guess. Actually, going through these pictures here helps jog the old memory a little bit. This was probably the funniest thing I ever saw when I was in the Navy. Right here. That's a life raft. We were cruising in the Mediterranean Sea. And there's a motherfucking life raft in the middle of the fucking Mediterranean Sea. And it got you asking some goddamn questions. Like, what in the fuck is happening? We pulled up next. Of course, you see a life raft and you're a U.S. Navy vessel. You're going to fucking pull up and see if someone needs to be saved. And no one was in there. We pulled it up. No one was in there. We ended up shooting it down. After we made sure no one was in there, we ended up casting it off the ship. And we took a gun and went boop, 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 boop. Popped a couple rounds into it to sink it. Obviously, we did that because, A, we had no room on the ship to take on a life raft that was already been deployed. And so we just shoot it down to make sure that no one else stops for it. By the way, those life rafts are like, I think they're environmentally friendly. I don't know if they really are or not. But anyways, that's what you usually do. A lot of shit. You'd be surprised how much shit gets thrown in the fucking ocean from vessels that are out there. Do naval men truly sleep with Oh. I think you're joking. No. Guys don't. Well, unless you have those couple of guys that are homosexual that sleep with each other. But no, guys don't sleep in the same rack as each other. Did you make any friends on the ship? I did. There are a few people that I am in touch with on occasion still from the ship. Yes. A few. Not a bunch, but a few friends that are like, we're very similarly minded. And we have a awesome bond. And we're still in touch. Yes. Were they thick? Were what thick, Gucci? No, Cram. It is a Gatling-styled anti-aircraft gun. All right, I gotta look this up. Cram anti-air. See what the fuck you're talking about. Oh, you're talking about the Sea Whiz. That's what you're talking about. This right here. Sea Whiz. C-Ram is actually, one of those friends that I'm still in touch with works on these now. He's a government contractor for the Army and works on the land-borne version of this. On the ship, we call it the Sea Whiz. Close-in weapons system, I believe, is what it stands for. The fire controlman worked on these, not the gunner's mates, because it was mostly electronic. That's a badass weapon, by the way. When that motherfucker goes off, it sounds like a goddamn, like 20-foot long chainsaw is fucking sawing the boat. That motherfucker's like, and the fucking, like, everything's shaking. That thing is a motherfucking monster. It shoots like 2,500 rounds per minute, but it can only hold like 1,250 rounds or something like that. The motherfucker is a goddamn monster. That little R2-D2 dome on the top of it, that's what we called it, by the way, and it does absolutely look like an R2-D2 dome, is a 3D radar. 3D radar means not only longitude and latitude that it can measure, but can also measure altitude. No other radar. All the other radars in the ship just do longitude and latitude, but that one also does altitude because it shoots down missiles. Yeah. I've been around that thing. I've been right next to it when it's shot. That motherfucker's a goddamn beast. Yes. All right. I know what you're talking about. Does there put railgun on ships now? There is railguns that they're experimenting with. I have no experience with the railguns on the ships. That was a thing that came a year or two after me when they started prototyping them on destroyers. I was not on a destroyer, so we didn't have like a big 5-inch gun. We didn't experience that kind of stuff. We didn't have like big missiles either. We just had the rolling airframe missiles. I see what you're packing. I did the wrong camera. There we go.
Adam can't see you.
Yeah, there we go. I fixed it. I clicked the wrong overlay. I see what you're packing. Oh my god! Every time you chat and I'm scrolling, it fucks me up. Hold on, guys. Jesus, there's so many chats I'm missing here. Hold on, give me a second, guys. Funniest thing. Gotta get them guns out, boys. Get the fuck 50 copies. Yeah. By the way, that was probably the most action that I ever saw when we shot down that life raft. What's up, Sean? How's it going?
Resources to start computer.
Do naval put railgun on ships? Okay, that I see the trolls are on first. Yeah. Hey, Anthony. My day was good, bro. My day was good. It'd be great if they were using railgun as CRAM. Yeah, railgun is not... I think they're still prototyping it. I don't think that's a standard issue thing yet on ships. That's all the Aegis stuff they started to deploy in the 1990s. Aegis has nothing to do with the Sea-Wiz here. Or the rolling airframe missiles. We did not have Aegis on my ship. Aegis is a type of advanced radar system that cruisers and destroyers use, and I believe also carriers, where they are able to communicate together all their radars are picking up, and it's like this big worldwide system where you can look at the radar of this ship that's across the globe kind of thing. It's like the super advanced radar, but it's mostly because of all the ships are connected together worldwide via satellite. And his stories now? Yeah, dude. What's up, Alejandro, by the way? Got a tour of the Dahlgren after it was re-outfitted. Nice, dude. Have you been with nukes? And by the way, your screen is off. Been with nukes. Like nuclear missiles? No. Our nuclear missiles are only on the SSBNs. That is your ballistic missile subs. I think I saw one at Norfolk Naval Base. Maybe. If I remember correctly, but I was not really around that kind of stuff. And if you mean nukes as in like nuclear reactors, those are only on carriers and submarines, and I was not on a carrier or submarine. I was on a dock landing ship, an amphibious ship. You know the Army terms. Yeah, it's way different. Army's terms are different than Navy. It's crazy. It's like each branch has its own lingo. You know. I was in the Navy for 3 years and 8 months. PUBG will be later, Alejandro. I never rode in a submarine. No. I think I did go to the Nautica. Shit, what is the first ever nuclear submarine, which is now a museum ship in Groton, Connecticut. I had to go there before I went into the Navy, like before I went to boot camp. I had to go to that base for a physical screening test. And I was able to go onto the Nautilus. I think it's the Nautilus. USS Nautilus. And it was a very cramped ship or sub. You meet any government officials, presidents? Nope. I think I went to a briefing with, at the time, Ray Mabus, who was like the chief of naval operations, which was with like 1,000 sailors or something crazy like there, 1,500 sailors. That's the closest I ever got to some high up government official. They have anti-land? I don't know. They have anti-land stuff. Anything anti-land would be like your VLS missiles, which I didn't have on my ship. All the stuff that was on my ship was mostly, it was just defense stuff. That was all we had. We didn't have anything offensive other than the 25mm gun. Get me a bucket is stream. Okay. Hey, what up, Defender, by the way? Hey, the Chad. Pretty much, I only did stuff on ships. You're in the Navy, you're most likely going to end up on a ship. Prototype in U.S. only at the moment. Chinese horror. Yeah. Anti-infantry. Yeah, so on my ship, the, here, we're going to Google here. Fuck, what was it called? The Mark 38? Mod 0? I think is what. It's been so long, guys. Ha! I still know my shit. We had this on the ship, and that was actually part of my department's, the gunner's mate's responsibility. This was a badass motherfucking gun. This is the Mod 2. I looked at the Mod 0. No, that's the Mod 2. Mod 0 is this. This is the old version. Navy doesn't really have those anymore. Now we use these. Mod 2s. We had 2 of these on board my ship. This cannon right here is a motherfucking monster. It shoots a 25mm round. 25mm meaning, by the way, 25mm diameter. And not meaning like 22mm or whatever. No, 22 is a .22 caliber. Sorry, it's not a millimeter. Okay, you got a 9mm round, right? Like a pistol round, 9mm round. You may have seen, it's like this big. 9mm means it's only 9mm in diameter. This is a 25mm in diameter. It's like 2.5 times the size. That's about like that fucking thick of a round. That in diameter, like it's this big around. The fucking the projectile. That motherfucker's like boom, boom, boom. And you see right up here is the camera. That it was a regular camera, had thermal imaging, had a laser guidance system on it, or a laser tracker. So literally, it was like a fucking computer mod. It was like a fucking video game. You literally just fucking move the thing onto the fucking boat in the water, and then you'd click the laser tracking, and the laser would hit it, and be able to see the fucking the boat out there, and literally would just automatically track the motherfucking boat, and then you just press the fire button, and it would just go boom, 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 and shoot the motherfucking boat. But you couldn't really use it for anti-land. It only had a range of about a mile. An effective range of about a mile. It could shoot its full range. It could shoot about 4 miles out, but its effective range, like how good it was accurate up to, was about a mile. With the thermal imaging scope on there. I'll pull up a video. This is a more advanced version. That we are just now starting to roll out. That one's like crazy motherfucking crazy. It's cray. It's super cray. Rip boats. Fuck yeah, dude. That thing will fucking destroy a fucking boat. Stolen Valor? Never really. I do have a story about Stolen Valor of what I've ran into. Oh, by the way, these are the control modules for that gun. It's literally like fucking video game. But I never went to school for the gun. We already had other gunner's mates on board the ship that were qualified in that gun. They didn't feel the need. The ship didn't feel the need to pay to have me go to school for it. I wanted to because I thought it was a cool fucking gun and I wanted to be able to work on it. And I did a little bit of grunt work with it, you know, helping out the other gunner's mates, but didn't really work on that gun. But dude, when that gun shoots, it's fucking insane. I might actually have. I did tell you guys I was going to show you guys my own videos. And I think I have a video of that gun shooting. Hold on. I do. Right here. I was on the bridge at the time when the gun was shooting.
There she goes. There she goes. Steady course 031.
It was a little misaligned, and then I think the gun jams, and that's why that thing was fucking blinking. Anyways, yeah. Stolen Valor. I've only ran into it once, Malcolm Bird, and it was when I was in A school, and I had just quit Buds, and was, now in Gunner's Mate A school, and there was a guy that was in my barracks wearing a Seal Trident. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if they still do this or not, if it's still the same, but by the time you get done with your Buds and then you go to SEAL qualification training afterwards, by the time you're done, you are a second-class petty officer with a fucking Trident and an expert parachuting pin underneath, right? Off to bed. All right, Bad Potato. Have a good night, man. Ooh, Adam's sex tape. There's no sex tapes in there. Hey, what were you saying? By the way, Doc, I did miss that one. Those radar gilded chain guns all came out. Exocet missiles sunk all the British ships in the Falklands battle. I don't know anything about that. I don't know anything about British military naval history, to be honest. But Stolen Valor. Okay, so when I was in A school, most of this shit is like practiced by people like civilians out in the fucking civilian world, and they're like trying to wear a uniform they bought at the fucking military surplus store or some shit, and their fucking uniform is so goddamn out of regs. It's so obvious to someone that's actually in the military. But when they're trying to like be like, I'm in the military, but they're clearly not because their uniform's out of regs. But a fucking regular civilian wouldn't know that their uniform looks all fucked up because they don't know what the fuck they're doing because they're not actually in the military and they're just pretending to be, which by the way is actually a crime and you can be arrested for. But the only time I actually really saw that was when I was in A school. There was a guy wearing a Trident, but he was an E3 on his patch. His uniform is so fucked up in so many ways. He had an E3 on his patch, no rating badge, right? I'll show you what I'm talking about. E3 is also called French fries, and show you rating badges. There you go. Let's look up some images. There you go. All right. Give you some guys. Okay, so you have ranks E1, E9, right? Switch back to the desktop. All right, so that right there is an E2. That is an E3. I think that's the EW insignia, like Electronics Warfare or something. Or maybe that's the Electronic Technician one. I can't remember. I think that's an EW. Right? I don't even know if that's even still a rating. I think they ended up merging with the CTs. That's Petty Officer 3rd class, which is the highest I ever got. And then when I got in trouble at the end, I got busted back down to E3. And then sometimes you can be an E2 without that little thing right there and saying, because maybe you don't have a job, you can be an undesignated seaman. So when you're in school, you don't have that yet because you haven't earned it yet. And so you're considered an undesignated seaman at the time, right? You just, seaman recruit, seaman apprentice, or seaman until you make petty officer. You have to have a job to be petty officer. Now, just because I wanted to show you something. This right here, that is a SO1 or Special Operator First Class or a SEAL First Class. That insignia is for a SEAL, right? That's what they get. That's a Boatswain Mate insignia, by the way. Very obvious to tell it. I had crossed cannons for Gunner's Mate. But anyways, so this guy, this is how fucked up his uniform was, right? So just to let you know, by the time you get outdone and you get pinned, the Trident, right, from being when you're a fucking SEAL, right? I'm gonna just show you what it looks like, by the way. SEAL Trident, badge. It's like the most prestigious fucking badge ever. By the way, as you can see, you can fucking buy it for $7.99 online, right? But that's a goddamn SEAL Trident. That's what you earn when you finish. You finish Buds, and then you went to do SQT, SEAL qualification training, and you finish that. That's another 6 months of training, I believe. When you finish all that, you are a Petty Officer 2nd class. You're an SO2, and you have this motherfucker up here on top. Then you got your few ribbons right here. Then you're also gonna have your expert parachuting pin down here. expert parachute shootist. Yeah, there we go. Parachutist badge, which is gold. There you go. That's an expert parachutist badge right there. That'll be underneath your ribbons when you finished all your fucking shit and you're fully a SEAL. And when you are fully a SEAL, the other thing that you're gonna have on your uniform. No, that motherfucker. He was wearing that, and he was wearing. I think he was just wearing the trident. He wasn't wearing the expert parachuting pin. But here's the other thing, right? This right here, if he had became a SEAL, if he had finished BUDS in the SEAL qualification training and became a SEAL and had that right to wear that fucking pin, right? He would have had this insignia. Even if he got in trouble and got busted down but still made it through school, and he was just an E3, right, which is this right here, he would have had, which I've seen, you would have had that symbol above right there, and it would be right there on the E3. And he didn't have that symbol. He had nothing. He had nothing. Motherfucker had nothing right there. Alright? He had nothing. He had no fucking seal. But he was wearing that goddamn trident. The motherfucker wasn't no goddamn SEAL. You could, when you see a SEAL, you can tell they're a SEAL by looking at them. You can tell. Someone that's made it through BUDS. They just have a look to them and a demeanor. He had said seaman. Oh, God. What was my rank? So I got up to an E3, which is, that's an E3. 1 chevron. I got up, or E4, sorry. E4, petty officer 3rd class. I got up to that, and I got out as an E3, which was just the French fries again. I got busted down. Anyways, what was I saying? So, the motherfucker was wearing that trident, but he had the E3 badges, but he didn't have the SEAL insignia, showing that he was a SEAL. He had that goddamn trident, right? So, there you go. That's the stolen valor story. I confronted him, because I knew he wasn't. He was in my barracks. And he's going around, walking around with that fucking SEAL trident. I knew goddamn well he didn't earn that shit. And you had a few batshit crazies that were wearing shit that they didn't earn, right? That they shouldn't have been wearing. And because I went to BUDS and I had a few friends that had finished BUDS and all that, like the fact that I actually had gone there, because I know that motherfucker didn't even go to BUDS. That guy was so fucking scrawny, you know what I mean? There's no goddamn way he went to he's a fucking SEAL. And I went and questioned him. I'm like, hey man, so you're a SEAL, right? Yeah, I'm a Navy SEAL. I'm like, really? Yeah. So if you're a Navy SEAL, how come you're not a petty officer 2nd class? Say, because when you finish SQT, you come out a petty officer 2nd class, right? You know that, right? And he's like, it's automatic, upon completion of SQT, as per your contract. That you get petty officer 2nd class upon completion of SQT, right? You get automatic E5, petty officer 2nd class, right? So why are you not petty officer 2nd class? I got in trouble. Oh, okay. Where's your insignia then above your E3 badge there that shows, where's your SN? Where's your insignia that shows that you're an SO rating? Then if you completed, because you're wearing that trident, so you completed SEAL training, right? And he's like, anyone that's stolen valor, that's how they're going to answer questions. They're going to be, anyone that knows what they're fucking talking about. And he had a lot of my friends convinced, because I had heard about this motherfucker before I actually ran into him when he was standing watch on the fucking quarterdeck of my barracks. When I first walked in there and first met him, because I had already heard about this guy walking around convincing people that he was a Navy SEAL. And he was not. He was not a Navy SEAL. And he's like, I'm like, all right, so you're full of shit. All right, I got that. So, I want to know why you're wearing that trident, that badge, when you didn't earn it, why you're wearing it and you're here in this school. What are you doing here? I'm in an electronic technician's school. Okay. So you're in school to be an ET. Okay, you're in school to be an electronics technician. Gotcha. Why are you wearing that trident if you didn't earn it? I did. I went to BUDS and I got the trident. And now I'm doing my secondary training because I'm gonna be the radio operator in my SEAL team. So they sent me to electronics technician school. Okay, I was like, okay, no. Whoever's going to be the comms, the comms guy, all right? You get all that shit. You do all that shit. They don't send you to fucking become an ET. They don't send you to electronic technician school for comms, all right? They have their own training. They have their own C schools for SEALs that you'll probably learn within your teams and get those quals. Because you're going to fucking cross-learn shit like being a front man or being the fucking, the point man or being a fucking sniper. You're going to fucking get your own goddamn training. You're not going to be sent back here for electronic technician school. It's not how that works, dude. Right? And, no, that's how they do it. No, that's not how they do it, because I'm going to tell you something. I was in, what class were you in, man? What class were you in? Tell me that. Oh, I was in class, in class 275. 275. I was like, class 275. Interesting, because, just a few months ago, I was in class 272. Class 275 hasn't even classed up yet. So how did you make it through buds with class 275 when they haven't even gone through buds yet? How did you make it through buds? That's what I want. I talked to Master Chief Tharp. Now he's trying to fucking, throw down names, right? Master Chief Tharp, by the way, was the guy that was in charge of the Buds prep program when I went through it. Master Chief Tharp, by the way, was a motherfucking badass. He was a badass. He's fucking, well known amongst the community. And this motherfucker's now he's trying to name drop. Who I knew Master Chief Tharp because I went through his Buds prep program twice. I knew him quite well. It's like, yeah, I know Master Chief Tharp. I know him. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know Master Chief Tharp too. So, yeah. What does that have to do with anything? Anyways, eventually what ended up happening was I got so fucking mad at the guy. I cussed him out. Told him, give me that SEAL Trident right now. Rip that shit off your fucking uniform because you didn't earn it. And he's like, no, Officer Deck, do something. I'm getting harassed here. Here you go again. If you were a motherfucking SEAL, you would have fucking knocked my ass out to the ground right now. Anyways, the guy was so fucking full of shit. I ended up getting really pissed. One of the actual, what do you call them? The fucking SDC, Sailor Division Commanders, came out. He was like a petty officer, first classer. He came out. Hey, Adam, come over here. Is there a problem here? I was like, yeah, this motherfucker. And I was drunk too, by the way. I was coming back from Liberty on a Saturday night, fucking wasted from the bar. Which, he didn't like that too much. But, I was like, yeah, this motherfucker's wearing a goddamn Trident. He didn't go to Buds. This motherfucker's trying to say he went class 275 through Buds and they haven't even classed up yet. They're not even in Buds prep. The fuck's he wearing? He's out of uniform. Not only that's stolen valor. It's just illegal. Motherfucker, he needs to be thrown in the goddamn brig. He needs to be sent to captain's mast. Anyways, the leading petty officer pulls me into his office. Like, hey man, listen. We know he's wearing it. This guy's obviously something wrong with him mentally up here. We've talked to Master Chief Tharp about it. He's going to be removed soon and sent to 5th floor Portsmouth. 5th floor Portsmouth, by the way. Or no. Sorry. I'm thinking two different areas. He's going to be sent to the psychiatric ward pretty soon. We're just waiting for him to go to medical. Blah, blah, blah. And he's probably going to be processed out. Because there's something wrong with this guy. And so just let us deal with it. He's wearing it. Just let him wear it. Yeah. Master Chief Tharp's aware of it. Blah, blah, blah. You don't have to try to handle this. I'm like, whatever, man. I'm fucking going to bed. I'm drunk. That's basically how that night went. So anyways, yeah. Stolen Valor. That was a good story. That's the only time I ever ran into that. So, what was your name? Malcolm, was it, or something? Malcolm Bird. I hope that answered your question. Dathan, what's happening, man? What's happening? Seals Game Store, are you having a fun time with that? You're getting all these LOLs going in there. Any more questions, guys? Any more questions? They're all caught up. Do they poop? Do who poop, Zen? Any pranks for the new guys? Yes, Defender, there is pranks for the new guys. Mostly there's pranks of when you get to the ship, they're gonna prank the new guys on the ship because you're like, basically it's more like, you know, you went to boot camp, you went to A school, and then you got sent to a ship, right? And you hadn't never stepped foot on a real ship yet. So, you get, there's some jokes that they'll pull, like, which I was actually already aware of quite a few of them, because when I was in Buds in the SEAL training, there was a few guys that were called fleet returnees. They were like people that were, they already went and served on a ship for a couple years, and now they're going to try out for SEALs. And so they, like, I already was given a lot of advice from those guys. Like, I was already told a lot of stories. So one of the things that they'll do, like, when you first get to the ship is they're going to be like, hey, man, can you go down to the boats and mates and go fetch me some water line? You know, there'll be something like that. Usually it's like a third class or second class petty officer. And you're like, you know, hey, can you go fetch me some water line? Water line, by the way, is what the water line is it's literally the, like, you have the ship, and the ship goes underwater, and at a point on the ship, the water, meets the, you know, there's a line of where the water is, the surface of the water is on the ship. It's called the water line, right? It's kind of like this imaginary line. But you say it to them like, go to the boats and mates and get a water line, like they're using the other definition of line, like it's a rope kind of line, you know what I mean? And they're like, because the boats and mates, like they're saying, go see the boats and mates, because the boats and mates are the ones that take care of all the lines on the ship. But the water line is not a fucking rope. So that's like the joke, and it's like to get some newbie to fucking go down, and you send them on a fucking pointless mission around the ship to find this water line, but it doesn't exist because there's no such thing. I mean, there is a water line, but the water line, like I said, is where the water is up where the water comes up to on the ship. That's the water line. So there's jokes like that, but that actually had happened to me, and I knew goddamn well they tried it, and I was like, fetch you some water line? Dude, you go hop in the goddamn ocean and go look at the goddamn water line yourself. I didn't fall for it, you know. So there's like stuff like that. But one of the pranks that was really funny that they pulled on me when I first got to the ship was ET2, Electronics Technician Second Class. Comes down to the armory. He was like a known prankster on the ship. We ended up becoming really good friends afterwards, and talked even after I got out. I actually sold him a car when I was out of the Navy and I was selling cars. I sold him a truck. When he had gotten back from an Afghanistan tour. What was I going to say? He came down, he took Senior Chief's jacket and had that on, but he was wearing just the normal, lower enlisted, dungarees, which we don't wear anymore, the utilities. It's like the janitor looking uniform that they used to wear. Now they wear the fucking badass blue camo. But he came down with the Senior Chief's jacket on, but the wrong pants. A Senior Chief would have khaki colored pants, not navy blue colored pants. So he comes down wearing that, and he's like, hey, I'm Senior Chief. You ever have your shit pushed in? I'm like, I look down, I see his pants, and I'm like, dude, you ain't no Senior Chief, bro. Listen, I know I'm the new guy, I know you want to prank me, but I ain't stupid, okay? You ain't no goddamn Senior Chief. What are you, fucking second class or something? He's like, God damn, did you warn? He fucking points, because my sponsor, my GM2, was sitting right there next to me. And he's like, God damn it, did you like warn him I was going to do this joke on him? Because I guess he pulled this same prank on everyone. He put on the Senior Chief's jacket, come down, fucking prank someone. And he's like, nah, dude, this guy's a smart motherfucker. You know, he's like, fuck, man. Yeah, I'm a second class. I'm ET2, by the way. Nice to meet you. God damn it, I didn't get you. I get everyone with that one. Anyways, let's go back to your questions again. What exercises did I do? Lots of sit-ups, push-ups, a lot of body weight type of exercises that you do. Running, swimming, push-ups, sit-ups, pull-ups, a lot of body weight type of exercises that you mostly do. As far as your normal, lunges, the flutter kick thing that you do in the air, I fucking can't remember what that's called. That's a lot of the type of exercises that you're going to do, mostly for normal command PT anyways. as far as your own workout routine with weights go, you can do that on your own. And there's a standard weightlifting type stuff. The Air Force, they tear gassed your dad. They tear gassed, I think, every branch. I got tear gassed in boot camp. It wasn't all that bad, but I'm also one of the 1%ers that, like, when they did the OC spray, didn't really affect me. I didn't feel it. When I went to the gas chamber, I mean, like, I noticed it. It was like kind of like a, you know, like, damn, this air quality sucks. While everyone else had, like, snot running out their nose and they're tearing up. And they're like, a couple people threw up. And to me, it was just like, you know, like, that's how it was when I got tear gas. It wasn't as bad as it was for everyone else. But I guess I'm one of those lucky 1%ers where tear gas and OC's pepper spray and shit doesn't affect as bad. It affects me, but it's not as bad. By the way, the picture that you're seeing right there is when I got OC sprayed right after I got OC sprayed. Not right after, it was like a while after, and the wind hit me and it started affecting me more, and I was kind of like, god damn. But some other people got OC sprayed, so I was like I said, one of those 1%ers that doesn't really affect that badly, like it does for most people. Most people get OC sprayed and they're in a lot fucking worse position than that. They're like, they're crying, and some people throw up when they get OC sprayed and shit like that. For me, it was just kind of like, god damn, this shit sucks. All right, let's go. You know, so it wasn't so bad. It was the dumbest thing that ever happened. Dumbest thing that ever fucking happened when I was in the military was probably the whole story that I told you before, Chris, with all three getting fired. That was the dumbest goddamn shit I've ever fucking seen. And for the most part, anyone's ever seen. It's so goddamn rare that all top three get fired from the ship. I heard about the bucket of steam for the captain from my uncle and the green tape and the chair. Oh yeah. I have heard something about bucket of steam, but no one ever tried that prank on me. How much interaction with other armed services did you have? Quite a bit, actually. Being in the amphibious, the Gator Navy as they call it, on an amphibious ship, we were the part of the Navy that was mostly responsible for carrying Marines. Because we had all their amphibious, like, landing craft and amphibious tanks and the hovercrafts and stuff we could carry on my ship in our well deck. If you remember, if you were here earlier for that, Chad, I showed you some pictures of our well deck. And so, yeah, we had a lot of Marines on board my ship when I went on deployment. We had some Army and Air Force people as well. I tried to hook up with one of the Air Force chicks, and I tried to hook up with one of the Marine chicks. Marine chicks, by the way, were like, because they're so in shape, oh my god, were they fucking hot as fuck. And I tried to hook up with one of the Air Force chicks unsuccessfully. So yeah, I had interaction because of the type of ship that I was on, because we were a troop transport carrier, basically. Not all ships are like destroyers. The wartime fighting, the war fighting ships are pretty much sailors only. Thanks, Samaj, for liking the video. Appreciate that. Did I make any enemies? Yeah, with my GM1, my leading petty officer. The guy was a real fucking dickbag. Hated that guy. We were enemies. I ended up getting him banned for the ship. Eventually, it took a while to get him on a crime and get it reported, and they finally banned him from the ship because he was such a fucking piece of shit. In the Navy, we call that a shitbag. I don't know if they call that in the Army, or they call them in the Army as well, if they use that term shitbag. In the other forces, G-Certified can probably answer that one, if he's still here. I am going live again tonight for PUBG Carry. Finger? What's that mean, Sales Game Store? What was your first experience shooting a gun? My first experience shooting a gun was not in the Navy. I was raised in a very, like, Christian conservative type family. Especially on my dad's side. My mom is kind of like not really conservative nor liberal. We had guns and my parents were divorced when I was 3. My mom and my stepfather, we had guns in that house, and my dad had guns in his house. My grandma was from Mississippi on my dad's side, and she had a whole fuckload of guns. My dad, I think, first took me out shooting when I was about 5 years old. He had me first shoot. He put me on a little gradient, had me shoot the little 22 revolver pea shooter. Actually, he taught me how to like properly hold it. Before I even shot it, taught me all the 4 weapons, universal weapon safety rules. And when I shot it, like, he was there, like, holding, had my hands behind my elbows just in case the recoil, and I shot it. And then he worked me up to the 357 Magnum, the Smith & Wesson, snub nose. No, that one was not a snub nose, regular barrel length. Put that in my hands. Took one shot and went, boom! Boom! The recoil was so bad, 5 years old, hit me in the nose. One of the reasons why I have a deviated septum. Go back to my grandma's, had a fucking huge cut on my nose from that. And she ends up patching it for me. And then next day, this was on the weekend when I had weekend visitation with my dad. Went to my mom. My mom was fucking pissed. She's like, "You let my 5-year-old son shoot a gun?" Because she didn't tell my mom. She was livid. She was fucking livid. That was my first experience shooting a gun. What's up, Battle Time? How's it going, dude? What's up, My Way? Were there any other assholes? He was pretty much, my LPO is pretty much the biggest asshole I'd ever met in my fucking life, to be honest with you. Mostly also because I was stuck with him. So there was like nothing I could do. He was my fucking supervisor. You get assigned to someone, your orders are for a few years. You're stuck with someone. That can kind of suck if they're a fucking complete douchebag. Most people in the Navy, though, they're pretty cool. It's just like anywhere else, any other group in the world. You got them few assholes that are around, and you just hope that you don't get fucking them as your supervisor. Hopefully, if you do get stuck with an asshole, they're your subordinate, and they work for you. So if they're an asshole, you can cuss them out and be like, "Quit being a fucking asshole, you little piece of shit. Go do your goddamn job." That kind of shit. Where do I live? I live in Southern California in Hollywood, Carrie. Hold on, guys. I'm going to take off my sweatshirt because it's starting to get warm in this room. Jared, you warm?
No.
I've been wearing my sweatshirt, so I'm kind of getting warm here. Yeah, I'm getting kind of sweaty. Woo! Did you run into many guys that were on power trips? Mostly just that one supervisor. To be honest with you, a lot of people I didn't feel like were like on a power trip. It was mostly just like, yeah, they're kind of on a power trip in boot camp and when, not so much when you're in A school, but mostly in boot camp and especially in SEAL training. But they're doing it because it's their jobs to be the power tripping asshole, but it's to get you, to break you down and build you back up again. That's what they do in boot camp and in SEAL training. It's not necessarily like I could, I'm a smart dude. I'm pretty adept. I'm pretty aware of things. I was able to see that they weren't assholes just to be assholes. They're being assholes because it's the method to the madness. That's what they're trained. That's how they're trained to instruct and to be a recruit division commander or a SEAL instructor. So, when are you ending? I don't know, man. I'm getting kind of hungry, so probably in a little bit. But I do still want to show you some of my old footage. Hey, Joe, how's it going? Nice to see you mixing it up with some chat. Fuck yeah, Ryan. I just kind of felt like doing something like this today. So, I do have a roommate. It's Jared. He's over there doing, I don't know, doing Jared things. It's 3:12. Yeah, I guess it is. Well, 3:14 now. My uncle got hit in the forehead by the front sight post while shoot a dirty, hairy revolver single-handed. Nice. So we had similar stories, I guess, then. I've been thinking, Adam, should I buy the Ewiz or Lumberjack? Not Navy related, but that's fine. I didn't make it that specific, I guess. But, I don't know, man. Get an Ewiz. Ewiz it's a good one to have. Get the Ewiz. I do want to show you guys some of my old footage. I'm just going to fucking like open up all the videos that I have. I'm actually missing some because I fucking sold that camera with the card still in it by accident. And I didn't have everything backed up to the camera, which sucks because I'm missing a lot of like good footage. But I have the majority of it that I had taken. We're going to switch to the desktop. No, actually I don't have any. I had 2 sex tapes and I fucking deleted them by accident. I'm fucking pissed at myself for that shit. Add. No, they're on my backup drive. Because these are all old shit. There we go. And I think all my military videos start from here. So we're going to open up all of them. I'm just going to go through them. I'll probably skip some because they're probably not very interesting. A lot of them. Okay, that and that. These are all my military. This is all the stuff I recorded when I was in the military. It is. Holy shit, that is loud as fuck. I'm going to turn that down. Alright. This is on leave, and I was just going snowboarding. This is nothing really that special. I was on a lift. Here we go. This is, I hope he doesn't, I hope these people don't mind. Can I do this? I think I can show this.
Navy.
My buddy Paul. He's not in the military anymore. He was a fire controlman. He was the guy that worked on that Sea-Wiz that one of y'all were asking about earlier. He was in the middle rack, and I was on the top rack above him. So you literally see how much room you have, and there's literally 3 racks there, as you guys can see. This is 3 racks. And I think I started showing my... I was trying to I was gonna make like a whole little tour DVD thing. I didn't end up editing all of the footage together. And that's just my locker, and I was just showing you. That's what I had. That's all the space you get for your personal shit. And that's me at, what, 2010? That's 8 years ago. With clean shaven, no beard. You know, nice fade haircut. So, Bill told me to get Ewiz. Yeah, Ewiz is pretty much like, he's kind of a necessity in like every deck almost, you know? That's all Defender is wondering. Yeah. I'm not showing no sex tapes anyways on YouTube anyways. I went through all these anyways before I started streaming. This is a fucking helicopter taking off. Thought it was cool. So I took a quick video of it, of him taking off. Not everyone gets to see that kind of shit every day. Normal people, you know? That's making funny little skit stuff. This is literally the second day of my deployment. Motherfuckers. I already had good commentary.
This is how much everyone's losing their minds. And this motherfucker right here is drinking weird shit.
Free monster spot. Free advertising right there.
Look how fucked up that thing is. Look like I got ran over by a fucking truck.
There you go.
Old school right there. This is a gun shoot. That's the GM1 I was talking about. I was a real fucking prick. Think I could get in trouble for this? I don't think. I think I'm good. This shit happened all so many years ago, and I'm not in the military anymore. They can't fucking do no shit to me. Get off me, Navy. Anyways, that's the M240 Bravo. So you guys know the M249 in the game PUBG. This is the bigger brother to the M249. The M249 saw fires a 5.56 round. This fires the bigger 7.62 round, but it's a light machine gun just like the saw. Yeah, I could fucking film most shit as long as it wasn't secret. I could, you know, I couldn't go into the secret spaces and film that shit, but I could film shit like this, gun shoots and stuff. This is nothing. None of this is classified, so. And here's the 50 cal. I love the fucking 50. This is going my shit right here. It's inaccurate as fuck, but it's hard to control, but it's a fun gun to shoot. At close range, it's pretty effective. Yeah, Nintendo did get wrecked. But anyways, yeah, that's the 50 cal. It's a fucking... I'm trying to skip to where... We're gonna full screen this. Those are the M240s shooting, not this gun. I think he's doing a reload or something. He's about to... He racked it. Dude, in person, that gun's so much fucking louder. Alright, that's him being an idiot. This is just us cruising. So that was cool. I'm up on the top part of the ship. We're just out in the middle of the Atlantic. Probably heading to Spain right now. She just had a hard time rack that gun. You have to do it underhanded, not overhanded. There you go. That motherfucker can be kind of difficult. You gotta yank that shit. It's a heavy ass bolt. Look at that. Listen to that beast. It's more from that gun shoot that day. I don't know what this is. I think we're coming up on Crete. Yeah, I think this is Greece. Or something. I don't know what the fuck we're coming up to. Might be even Haiti. I don't know. Yeah, this is all from Haiti right here. I'm going through this shit pretty quickly. This is the bay in Port-au-Prince that we were in. It's really hard to see. This camera was really low quality when I was using for this to capture this stuff. I know I'm kind of like going through it quickly because I have a lot of stuff. More port of France. This is the USS Oak, I believe. Or no, the GCCS is the Coast Guard fucking boat. Oak or Oak Hill or some shit.
Hey guys, I'm gonna. So they sell them in the ship store.
This is when I was going out to Haiti. In the well deck right now on the landing craft. And we're fucking going off the back of the ship in the landing craft.
Next to each other though.
As you can see.
Could happen again.
I was the fucking worst cameraman ever.
Hey, what's up, dude? I'm gonna fucking blur your face out.
Like black bar right here.
Yes, Alex Comfort.
He's talking about, I give you no permission. He was just fucking around though.
God damn it.
That's the USNS Comfort. Out there. Right there. That's the USNS Comfort. I don't know what this is. Random video.
Cock's not in your face.
That was a chick, because she was like sitting down next to me. She's like, your cock is in my face. She's trying to flirt with me. Anyways, fraternization does happen quite a bit in the Navy. I don't know if it's any better now, but so this is us coming up to the shore in Haiti. Place was a real fucking shithole, I'll tell you that. I feel bad, so bad for them. They get fucking hurricanes, earthquakes. Those people down there, they just keep getting shit on with the worst, like, natural disasters. I feel so bad for those guys that live there. This part, were there a woman on the ship? Now I have questions. Now you have new questions? Alright, go ahead and ask, dude, what you got. This is more just Haiti. Garbage everywhere. The place was a wreck after the earthquake. I don't know if it was the same before we got there or not, but... what's that? Do I know any Special Forces guys? My grandfather and uncle were in the Green Berets and Field Artillery and Airborne Qualified. Stories about both of them in the Army. I mean, other than the people that I knew that I went in training with in BUDS, I didn't really know any Special Forces guys. Or the instructors that I had, like, the ones that stick out, like Master Chief Tharp or Chief Laviolette, Instructor Stone. I'm trying to think of the other ones that kind of stuck out. Instructor Haas, Instructor Holland. The guys that I had as instructors in BUDS. Better not as in more or less. Like, I'm thinking there's probably less fraternization because, like, you know, you gotta think, like, Navy's a little bit, like, behind what's, like, socially acceptable in the civilian world. Like, they're just now allowing females to be on submarines in the Navy. They're just now allowing females to be to be a SEAL in the Navy. Like, allowing them to go to training. So, like, their integration. So, like, you know, 30% females, 70% males, right? That's just among ship's crew. There was only, out of the 400 Marines we had on board my ship, 2 of them were female out of the Marine company that was on board my ship. So, like, all the dudes want to get with them chicks. And them 30% chicks, like, they know them dudes want them vaginas. And they'll get around. And they'll fuck dudes. That's what I mean by fraternization. But some people get in trouble for that kind of shit if you do, like, fucked up shit you're not supposed to do. Like, junior sailors can fraternize with other junior sailors. You just can't have sex on board the ship. You do that shit out in town on your own time. Right? But no matter what, a junior sailor can't fuck around with a senior enlisted sailor, or a senior enlisted sailor can't fuck around with an officer. Like, you're not even supposed to have a relationship in that way. So, but sometimes it happens, and then, you know, they get in trouble, right? But I don't know if that shit is decreased or increased. If there's more fraternization happening and people getting in trouble and getting fired from their jobs and that kind of shit. Like captains getting fired for it. I don't know how bad if it's like that anymore. See more Haiti stuff. It's me going back to the ship. Yeah, we're just going back to the ship. There's a helicopter flying, probably doing a med evac or something like that. This is us coming back into the ship. I'm gonna skip through this pretty quickly. This is completely dark. Oh, this is... more what we do on our when we're not like doing maintenance. You
We're
know,
on, like,
once we've been,
day 8
we don't have to.
of deployment.
You know, you don't have to work
And
when
they're
you're
really starting to
when you're underway on deployment. It's not like you're working all the time on the ship, like from sun up to sunset. It's not that bad. Like you can get some time off before you got to go to sleep, and then you got to wake up the next day to go back, you know, to work. It's like no work. You're just on the ship, so you have your normal off time from work, you know. But you can't leave the ship obviously because you're underway. You're out in the middle of the sea, but you know, so you have time off. And this is pretty much what we did.
As they play. Dun, dun, dun. Left 4 Dead. See
Yeah.
how much
So anyways, we're playing Left 4
someone's
Dead,
getting
just
into
hanging
this?
out in our shop. Pull the TV out. That was just a buddy of mine talking on the phone. This is some fires they were getting burned. This is from the burn pits, I believe, when they were burning the bodies or something, or I don't know what they were doing. I don't know what that was. Trying to show you more of the action-oriented stuff. This is just some more me being out in Haiti. This was back at the barracks. Me and my buddies were about to go out for Liberty. This was not off deployment. These are kind of out of chronological order, so. That was the French ship, I believe. I think that was the French ship. I can't remember. Kentucky Thunder Baby. How often did you walk on someone walk in on someone masturbating? We're gonna get to that, Defender, as we go through these videos. My dad was an infantry and an officer. Oh, nice. And the other's our colonel, all four in the army. Nice, dude. But and actually, okay, I'm gonna tell you. Let's keep watching. This is more just normal stuff. We were just doing operations in Haiti, out in the water in the bay. That's the Mexican boat, Mexican Army or Mexican Navy's boat. This is us getting back to the ship, getting dropped off after hard day's work on land in Haiti. This is us coming up to Haiti. There's one cool thing, like how they drive the fucking landing craft. They like how they beach these motherfuckers, right? That's what they do with these. That's how these things are designed. Watch this. So they just like just fucking scrape it up on the beach. That's how they land those. This is on foot, on land in Haiti. I was standing watch at the. They fucking just took me on watch. So I pulled out my camera and I was on watch at the gate of the base there. This is medevac happening in Haiti. A goat that was on our base.
Goats in Haiti.
Here's an unrep or underway replenishment. We're just getting fuel from that ship.
Unwrap.
They basically have the ships go parallel, the same speed, same course. Which is actually quite of a feat as it is. And then those lines right there are that's just carrying fuel over. Diesel fuel, different types of diesel fuel. Diesel fuel for our engines, the main engines on the ship, and then another type of diesel fuel that's more refined that they use in the like Humvees and the helicopters and shit that we refuel. Hey Zero, welcome back. This is us out in town smoking hookah.
It's cool. It's cool.
That's all that was. This is more just being in the Bay of Haiti, I believe. Oh, this is Guantanamo Bay, actually. I think. Yeah, I think it's Guantanamo Bay. This is more just being out to sea on the Atlantic. That's my friend looking all weird. More being out to sea. This is not a sex tape, it's my friend fucking around. This is my supervisor. He was like the worst at getting seasick. This is where we're trying to get him to puke. Just fucking around. I'm just walking around trying to find people that are like Marines that were throwing up because they weren't used to being out to sea, and all of us were. So right here, the ship was rocking pretty bad, and then the ship like stopped rocking, and we were trying to do this thing where it was just funny where the chair like rolled, and it just looked like I went up to look, you know, it was just gonna be a stupid skit, and it ended up being funny because he ended up actually the ship actually took like a huge roll he ended up falling off while he was trying to film me do this skit, and it turned into a real thing. Hold on. So, I'm just trying to do this stupid skit. We're like, oh, the chips rolling so bad, you know? And I was actually... he actually fell while filming this little skit. He actually fell. Because the ship rolled that bad. And sometimes it happens. The ship can roll pretty bad sometimes.
Okay, so now leaving DC Central to the galley. Head on, sir.
I'm just like doing a little ship tour. I mean, I'm such a bad cameraman.
Did you puke yet, Hale? No. Go.
That's like near the beginning of being out to sea. There's the good old Navy food right there.
That's fine.
Oh god, I'm so hungry right now. This is the ship rolling. I just thought it was cool. Like you set it down, you set your drink down, and it's just literally like the liquid's just going like this. I just thought that was the coolest thing. So it's out in town smoking hookah. I don't know why I filmed this. Oh, this guy was a fucking hoot. She didn't want to be filmed. All these people didn't want to be filmed. I know, Lenny. I'm gonna go eat in a minute. We're just doing maintenance. Oh, this is after deployment, and I was back, and my friend was drunk as fuck.
You got a new video camera. We're drinking beer and liquor.
This is how sailors get down when they go out in town and get drunk.
We sang all of them. We sang Velvet Revolver,
That's how we do it.
Guns N' Roses, Motley Crue, Hinder. All those bands that like to party. So hey,
All those bands that like to party.
Trippin' Sipple.
He's fucking so drunk. This is a little off time on the ship. Some people brought some instruments on board that we pulled out when we didn't have to work at night. They had a little jam session going. It was pretty cool. Everyone want to try their hand at that. I think this is more Haiti. No, this is Africa. In port in Africa. We just pulled into port in Africa. This is us out in Liberty.
Okay, this right here.
This is when I was on restriction after I got in an alcohol-related incident, and we're just fucking around in the weight room.
Big lightning. This is Adam, the tornado pyres.
Do you guys like this stuff? I don't know. Let me know in the chat if you guys actually like this. Just going through these old videos. This is in Africa. We're out in town on Liberty. There's only certain places you could go. Like these places that we're passing through is like the ghetto areas, and you're not allowed to like. There were restricted areas, so we're just like passing through. We're like in these approved cabs, because Africa's considered like a little bit more dangerous to be around. But they did allow you to go out in town because there's like certain like nicer resorts that you could go to, and that's where we're heading to right now. But we're heading through like the normal place in Africa. Sorry, not Haiti. Do not do this.
I don't even know what kind of.
We were just talking about being on restriction. There's more of Africa. Africa, it's third world, man. It's a shithole. Alright, Anthony. Alright, Chad. This is the greatest shit you've ever seen. Really, Cyril? Are you enjoying it? Okay. So yeah, this is just more of Africa. See, to me, it's like, I know to you guys, maybe you didn't experience it. I've already experienced this, so it's kind of, that's what it is. At the time, though, it was really cool.
I know he's a gunner mate, you know.
This is my friend. We were making a little skit while we were just super bored when we were on restriction. After we all got in trouble for an alcohol-related incident. Where we got arrested for being too drunk out in town, basically.
In Portsmouth.
And when you're restricted, you can't leave the ship. When everyone gets to go home at the end of the workday, you're stuck on the ship in home port, in America. You can't go home.
But that dude Pyres, I don't know what the fuck he is. I've been looking for him all day.
This is
I
funny.
got his camcorder. I don't know if he knows it or not. Can't find him.
My job, Connor, was a
I
gunner's
beats
mate.
off like 4 or 5 times
I was a
day.
gunner's mate.
Watched porn all day long. I know that for a fact. I seen him. I caught him. No homo. I caught him now. Caught him beating off. Some sick shit. Got this motherfucker beating off. But hey man.
Hey, Keelan. Hey, sir, come on, man. This is just a skit that we're doing. We were just trying to have some fun. We were super bored when we were on restriction.
He's a crackhead. Beamed out on cigarettes.
Man, I had like such a nice jawline, man, when I was younger. I was all in shape and stuff. Now I'm all fat. I was all like in shape. Had muscles. This is more just driving through Africa. They were doing some sort of like protest march or something. I don't know what they were doing. I just thought it was interesting, so I filmed it. It's like, you don't see that every day.
That's really cool.
Why is that so funny? I don't know, man. We did some. We were fucking. Listen. We were stuck on the ship for 45 days straight in home port. We were not allowed to leave. That's what you call restrictions. Basically like being in jail, how they would jail you in the Navy when you get in trouble. And not only that, but we weren't allowed to leave. I was on restriction through Thanksgiving and through Christmas. It was fucking horrible, all right? And we were just literally just trying to find whatever we could to pass the time. They wanted to vote. Oh, I don't know what it was. Now I'm living the gamer life. Dude, I feel like my life is so much better, especially now that I get to be a YouTuber. And your guys' donations is literally my paycheck. And the very little AdSense that I get every month. AdSense revenue, like. But I don't. It's not like about how much money I make or anything. Like right now I make just enough to get by. But I'm happy, I'm the happiest right now at 31 years old. This is the happiest I've ever been in my entire life. Or like in a very long time at least, because I get to be my own boss. You know, I served for 3 years and 8 months, Connor, before I got kicked out.
The ship. And right now I'm going to show you where we keep all our hazmat at.
So I was trying to do like a little like thing for my mom, like my parents.
Right. Hey mom, dad. So I'm on restriction. I thought I'd make a little tour of the ship. And right now I'm going to show you where we keep all our hazmat at. Alright. Right now there's no one in here. Usually we just come out here, we're playing video games. This is probably what they're doing right now. Playing some video games. See?
Oh shit!
What the fuck, dude? What, are you fucking jerking off? Are you fucking serious, dude? What the fuck? This fuck is...
Yeah. So Defender, didn't you ask that earlier? How often did you walk in on someone masturbating? Or should I ask the question on the night stream? So Defender, does that answer your question? Just, yeah. You walk in on people masturbating. It happens. It happens. That's why I had to fucking bust the door down. It was locked. This is at one of the resorts in Africa. Dude, this food was like, literally like, the dish that I got was confit duck, which is the same dish she had, which you're going to see in just a second. See if I can catch it right. This is on my shitty old camera. That was the duck leg, and it had like some potatoes right there with like, dude, like it was such a small portion. That dish right there was like 45 American fucking dollars. It was so goddamn expensive. But it was so good. It was like the best fucking meal I've ever had in my life. It tasted so good.
In hazmat, how I release my anger.
So we hung out down in the hazmat area because we had an Xbox down there while we were on restriction. I think this is Call of Duty that we were playing.
You die quick.
I didn't release my anger!
This is the same thing. Like I said, a lot of these are out of sequence, but... What's up, Jonathan? By the way, guys, I gotta tell you, I just wanted to see how you guys reacted in the chat. The whole walking in on him masturbating was actually a setup. We set that up. I didn't actually walk in on him masturbating. We thought it'd be funny to make like a little skit like that. But I have walked in on people masturbating before. Like they locked the door in the workspace and like to the armory, and I had the key, and I fucking just open it up, and they're like they have headphones on, and they're like masturbating to something on their phone. And I walk in, they're like going at it, and I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Like, go in the goddamn bathroom and sit on the go to the fucking head and sit in the goddamn commode and fucking do that shit. in the goddamn stall. Like, don't do this shit in the work center, especially in the middle of the fucking day. When I'm gonna walk in, lock the door, I got the goddamn key to the armory too. Shit like that. Anyways.
I'd loan you mine, but
Just more playing video games. This is in Africa, out in Liberty. This is Ghana, in the middle of town.
What's up? Eggs. Makes you want to eat them.
You didn't want to eat them. Dude, it smelled so bad. It smelled literally like shit because they had open sewers. You see that? Hold on.
Eggs. Makes you want.
Alright. Oh, shit. God damn it. I suck at this. Okay. See this right here? That's a trench. That's their sewer. It's literally a trench and that's their sewer. The water, the sewage just flows right down there and it's open. And it stinks so goddamn bad. Yeah, this is Ghana. I think, yeah, this is Ghana. Ghana was way more third world than Senegal was. This is a helicopter landing. Thought it would be cool. You don't see that every day, you know? Helicopter landing right next to you. Not a ship, moving ship at that matter. It's more just being in downtown Central Marketplace, Ghana, Africa. It's just fucking trash everywhere. It's just dirty and disgusting. That's all. Such a shithole. This is third world countries, guys. So that's more of the open sewer. Another helicopter landing. More of us just walking around in Ghana. That's my cat. This is at one of the resorts. He was messing with his because we were overseas. We got these like free these track phones, so we could call internationally instead of using our actual regular cell phones. But anyways, this is just at one of the other resorts in Africa. This is hanging out. This is on leave, snowboarding. Like I said, this is all like out of sequence. This was the Ghanan Navy trying to impress us. We were about to go out in Liberty, and they're like going on a run, running march, and they're trying to like impress us. And we're just like, okay, you guys do you. We're going out to fucking town and getting drunk. This is me snowboarding. My buddy did not know how to film.
It is. I don't know how much it took because I accidentally hit the button and it was on standby when I just looked at it.
So this is back home in Massachusetts. This is why I want to go back home in Massachusetts. Because right now, I could be doing this shit, guys. I could be doing this shit right now. But I can't do this shit in Southern California right now. Unless I travel 2.5 hours away.
I didn't realize it wasn't recording anymore.
I missed that shit. This was we're about to go do the canopy tour. This one actually gets kind of good. Some more of this. Hold on, I'm gonna skip ahead a lot of these because I know what these are. So this is walking through the jungle, in the rainforest. And more walking in the rainforest. You're doing it here. Well, I moved here. Oh yeah, I remember you were saying that, Brody. I miss snowboarding so bad. This is us getting the briefing, the safety briefing before we go on the canopy walk. Canopy walk, by the way, is where you like you're on the fucking top of the trees, and walking through these tiny little. You're gonna see in a second, but we're literally on top of the trees, like 100 feet in the air. It's just kind of hard to tell with this footage. Some more gun shoot stuff. I showed you guys that kind of stuff already. This is when we were on safari, but I didn't really get much good stuff from the safari except for. Oh, this was the canopy walk. That was not very good footage. I got some better footage. Hold on. There's one of me walking across. I'm trying to find. We saw a rhino. There's a giraffe. We're on the little safari thing or something. Do it in live stream. What, snowboard? Yeah, when I make my way back home. Yeah, here it is. We're like 100 feet suspended in the air on these fucking things. It was scary as shit. So this is more just Africa in the rainforest. Just on one of our little Liberty trips. This is the giraffe again. Oh, this is me going across it. It's kind of scary. You just got the smoke mag kit? Nice, dude. Yeah, this was really cool, though. It sucks on the the camera because it's just such a shitty camera from back in the day, so it doesn't look that good. But it didn't really capture how incredible that was, that trip. There's more of the giraffe. There's me walking across. I had my buddy hold the camera. I was scared as shitless, dude. I'm so afraid of heights.
It's all in your mind, boat.
It's all in your mind, boats. That's what you call a boatswain mate, by the way. You call them boats for short. I was actually a gunner's mate, so for short, you'd be like, "Hey, guns." You know, they'd be like, "Hey, guns, how's it going?" It's like Navy slang. But the other guy, he was like this old school Navy guy that's been a boatswain mate forever. And so he just called everyone boats all the time. He'd be like, it would be like how we might say dude to each other, to him just being so old and salty. By the way, salty in the Navy is a different definition than what we use in the gaming community as salty. Like, salty in the gaming community is you fucking raging out, getting pissed. Salty, the original like Navy slang that's been around for like 200 years, is like, you're salty, that's a good thing. That's like, you've been around the fucking block forever. You've been on fucking many deployments out to sea. You're motherfucking salty as fuck. Just means you've been around for a while and you got some experience under your belt. And, yeah, so anyways, that motherfucker was a salty-ass motherfucking boatswain mate. And boatswain mates are like the grunts of the Navy. They do all the line handling. They fucking moor the ship to the pier. They do all the fucking painting and the chipping of the paint. And they fucking run all the small boats. And they drive the ship. That's what boatswain mates do, you know. They're like old school. They're like... Boatswain mates and gunner's mates are the oldest rates in the Navy. And they've been around since the formation of the Navy. And so anyways, he was just so old school and salty that he just called everyone boats. He was just like, "Hey, boats, boats, boats."
Trying to catch up, trying to pass you behind you.
This is like some deer on that safari we went on, or gazelle, or whatever the fuck they are. I don't know what the fuck they are. I think they're gazelles.
This one is?
I wish they weren't all out of order.
Yeah, I have a wicked fear of heights, so...
Yeah, I don't know what that is. That's like... warthogs? Yeah, they're warthogs. Zebra. We were like in a game park or something in Africa, though. This wasn't like an actual out in the wild of Africa kind of thing, safari. This was like just a huge game preserve in Africa.
There you go.
It was kind of like out safari, but I don't think all these animals are this grouped together in nature in Africa. Maybe they are, I don't know. But this was definitely a game preserve that was only like,
So we are here at the
I don't know, it was like maybe 20 miles in diameter or something. Oh, this is cool. There was a crocodile. Hold on. The hippo is cool. Or no, the rhinoceros, I mean. That was, I don't know what that is. Some sort of cow. Hold on. I got one of the crocodile. Here we go. This is a good one of the crocodile.
Like 2 of them?
Oh, shit.
Motherfucking crocodile. They're just giving us like a briefing or something. Or maybe this is the rhino one. There it is. Motherfucking rhinoceros right there. It's cool. It's like the first time I've ever seen a rhinoceros in person. Especially like out in the wilderness, not like in a cage in a zoo. Like here in America. This one was cool. I got a good shot of this one. Watch this. Check out that motherfucking crocodile or alligator.
He's so scary.
What's that?
Tortoise. Or, yeah.
It's a tortoise. What do you want?
I love my comment. This was at the this castle in Africa where they exported all the slaves that we used to take back in the like 1700s and 1800s and shit.
There's a guy running down there. What is up, dude?
Monkey. Like, hey dude, what's up? You just chilling? Cool. Cool. Monkey, just chilling in a tree. But never been to Henry Dooley Zoo in Omaha? Nope. I've been to the Dallas Zoo. And I think I've been to the San Diego Zoo. So this is the slave dungeon in Africa where they exported all the slaves to bring them to America and other parts of the world. It's kind of blurry because it's so dark. This is the Pink Lake which I already had footage of this on the channel. More of the slave dungeon. They're just telling us about it, and I'm just cool. Oh, this is kind of cool. We were just walking around this one area in Africa, and all these guys, I was like, what's going on over here? They're playing some tribal shit. I'm trying to see. Okay, this is where they're like dancing. They're doing like some tribal dancing stuff or something. I don't know. I just thought it was fascinating. I know I got a better angle at one point here. There we go. This guy right here is like obviously like the instructor of the school. We have goats. This is at the Pink Lake.
Oh, the donkey! It's a jackass! Yeah! Jackass!
Yeah, it's the Pink Lake in Dakar, Senegal, or near Dakar, Senegal.
Here we are.
No, I'm good.
That's a street vendor. They're fucking rude as fuck. He's like, and so you usually have to be rude back and just be like, nope, boop, good. This was like the Milani village or some shit. He's just giving us like a briefing about the village.
Oh, they're all tied up.
There was one part where like the kids were fighting. It was kind of funny. There you go. So this is just like an African village, and they have like a tour guide bring you through, like a guide. And the kids are just wrestling as you're walking through. Kind of interesting, I guess. I don't know. This is like we're riding the sand dunes over at the Pink Lake. It's fucking shaky. Dude, my camera, I'm the worst fucking cameraman. I swear to God. Oh, this is where they fucking flipped theirs. They flipped their goddamn Unimog. We were on a Mercedes Unimog, and the other one flipped. I missed shooting it though. I didn't get it flipping. This is now on the ocean side. The Pink Lake's like over here somewhere. This is me going in the Pink Lake, the video that got me fucking nearly 300,000 views on my channel. And the Weather Channel, and got me on the Weather Channel. It's the dumbest video ever. I think all you guys have probably seen this. I think that's it. Oh no, this is Senegal. Now Senegal, guys, Dakar is so bad. There's like, they see you're American, you'll have like 10 street hustlers just on you, trying to sell you shit. Look at this little kid right here. He's just walking next to him, and my buddy just keeps looking down, and he's just like, money, money, money.
We're gonna go try and find some vendors, I guess. So they're gonna find us.
So yeah, we're gonna go try to find some vendors, or nope, they're probably gonna come try to find us. Which, look how quickly we walk out of the ATM. That's how fucking quickly a street vendor gets on you in Dakar, Senegal. If you're an American, they see you're an American or some European or anything. The fucking people, the locals that are the fucking street hustlers, they will be on you like white on rice. And it gets bad. You'll have like, in a second here, I have video. There's like 3 of them outside of our goddamn van. Wait, is this? I'm trying to find. What the? Go back. Go back in the list. Oh, whatever. This is at another resort in Africa. Oh, I just had to. I couldn't resist. Couldn't resist capturing that. And especially when she was putting the oil on her best friend over there, her little girlfriend. I actually afterwards did try to go talk to her to pick her up, and she was like French and didn't speak a word of fucking English. This is more just being out in the streets. We're trying to just keep it moving to avoid the street hustlers. But it gets, watch. Okay, so watch. This is how bad it is. They're always approaching you and trying to fucking... Hello, thank you. You're welcome, Chad. But the street hustlers are always trying to approach you. It's insane. Like behind me, you can hear them talking. They're trying to sell them. Where's the French lesbian bitches? That girl was thick though, dude. Would have done some dirty shit to that girl. That guy actually ended up becoming a recruit division commander afterwards. He went to push boots at boot camp in Great Lakes. That guy with the bald head there. That guy was a goofy motherfucker. Cool though. Cool dude. You gotta be a little crazy to join the Navy. This is more just being in the middle of Dakar, Senegal. Dakar is, like, if you guys remember from, if you were here watching the Ghana tapes video, Dakar, Senegal is definitely a little bit more developed than Ghana. But Dakar is fucking so bad with the street vendors approaching you. Whereas in Ghana, you go approach the street vendors and negotiate a price. Here, that guy literally was just standing there trying to sell him. He just walked up to him and just stood there with his fucking shit he was trying to sell him, and yeah. And they'll pickpocket you too. Pickpocket you. That's why you have to go out in large groups, so you don't get singled out and get pickpocketed and get mugged. I heard if you lost your gun, they make a ceremony and make you marry you to your gun. Well, luckily we never lost a gun in the Navy, but in the Navy, especially me being a gunner's mate and we're in charge of the weapons, if you lose a gun, you're done. Your ass is so fried if you lose a fucking gun. That's a major fucking deal if you lose a gun. Because, like, that's a military gun, military grade weapon. Automatic weapons. That ends up in the fucking wrong hands. And what kind of damage could that cause? So, yeah. It's not like you're marrying your gun. It's like you're going to motherfucking brig for a few years if you lose a goddamn gun. Probably. Another street vendor trying to sell them. Two more approach. There's more over here. Dude, literally like 10 street vendors approaching us. Just being like, yo, buy this. Yo, my friend, you buy, I give you good price, my friend. Just because you're my friend, I give you very good price. Give you very good price on this, my friend. My friend, be like, dude, you're not my friend. Fuck you. Go away. Is there any more? I think that's it. I think that's all of them. Pretty much. Anyways. I need to go eat, guys. So we can be ready for PUBG here in a few hours. PUBG, $5, 10 with hacks. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm fucking, it's warm in my room. I'm hungry. I'm so hungry. Guys, I hope this was fun. Maybe we'll do stuff like this more often. I just thought this would be interesting because every now and then you guys would ask me questions in the chat, you know, about being in the military. And I was watching the other Navy YouTuber guy, just like I said in the beginning of the stream. And, you know, just thought it'd be cool to kind of share my 2 cents of my experience in the Navy. So I hope I answered a lot of questions. I hope I showed more of the real side, too. You know, you guys know me. I'm a fucking no BS kind of guy, you know. And so I get, you know, I thought it'd be cool to show you more than what you see on the news and stuff. And you get to see the insider look, you know. Thought that'd be cool. So anyways, guys, thank you for joining me and sticking it out. And we'll see you guys 7 p.m. 3 hours from now for the PUBG stream. I'll go eat my food. I'm going to watch a little Netflix. I'm going to hang out, relax. I'm going to vape. And then eat some more food. And then we'll be back with some PUBG. Some G's and pubs. Yeah. Alright, guys. See you soon.